hello, everyone in Central New York. This is Dave Letterman, your old TV pal. Remember me? I'm supposed to say something witty and funny here about Bill Keeler, but I've got nothing. Ever see a picture of this guy? That's a joke in itself. Anyhow, here's Keeler on WIBX.
I got to tell you, walking from the vehicle to the vehicle into the building, which takes a mere, I don't know,
15 seconds.
15 seconds at most.
Yeah.
You get drenched. It is pouring out.
I know.
We are
I had to
dealing
get
with
the
a
old
downpour.
rain jacket on this morning.
And in addition to all of that fun, I will tell you that hydroplaning and all that stuff, it's just a fun little January thaw mess out there. So, and I can't imagine that some basements might be getting some water at some point. So you might want to make sure your sump pump is up and running and all good. So,
my future father-in-law recently had an incident at his house where there was a little bit of a flood in the basement. Not a little bit of the flood. I had to help him tear up all the flooring and stuff like
so
that.
they had flooding.
And it was because the sump pump failed. So he's like, I'm not messing around. He went and got this new system. It's something that's in the float, and he tested it 3 times. And I tell my clients all the time when they buy a house that has a sump pump, get a battery backup, and then go the extra mile, spend a little more money. There are technologies now where you can it'll send a notification to your phone if your sump pump's failing, if the power went out, if the water gets to a certain level. It's
I have an app that
really
actually lets me know my wife is not in the mood.
You need an app for that?
Apparently, because at 5 p.m. I usually get the alert, and it's every day. I don't even think it works.
She's on her way home from school.
I get the app. I get the notification.
Oh, boy.
And it simply is just like in big block letters, not tonight. I don't know what it means.
Don't test me.
Could mean more than I'm reading into it. Maybe I need to read in a little deeper into that. I don't know. Ah, yes, a little something to screw the people at YouTube this morning, to ding us for using copyrighted material. A little something for Andrew.
I'm ready to go. I'm standing here outside your door. I hate to wake you up to say goodbye. But the door.
I'm really shocked you're actually even here this morning because you're leaving this afternoon.
Yes, I'm dedicated.
I think it's just to get out of some of the packing, but
oh no.
I get it, so. This is a little something for Andrew.
So kiss me and smile for me. Tell me that you'll wait for me. Hold me like you'll.
We actually won't. We'll have another host by the time you get back. Just be ready for that.
I knew I shouldn't have left.
All right. So Andrew heads off on a cruise. And
my first one.
I got to tell you something. The one thing about cruises these days is you hear often is people coming home sick.
Yeah, well.
So just, and you're going to find on these cruise ships, every step you take, there's somebody standing there with hand sanitizer.
Yeah.
They constantly are reminding you to wash your hands, and yeah.
So we should plan for the week, the first few days after I get back.
Well, I'm just saying.
Contingency plans.
Dino Babers looks like he has a gig. Is Davey in there? I can't really see.
He had to run home and grab his cell phone. So
okay.
He will be back.
I have to go to the bathroom. Davey? Huh?
But yes, he does. He's going to be the offensive coordinator at the University of Arizona.
Yeah.
And I think the bigger coaching news, and this is really kind of startling if you're Bill Belichick, the Falcons passed him over. They were the only team to bring him in for a second interview. I think they're the only team to show Bill Belichick any interest, which is a little bit surprising, but maybe not.
I just am really surprised.
Yeah.
But you know what? You're investing in long-term and not short-term, right?
A lot of people, a lot of pages I follow of Packers fans are like, Let Bill come and be our defensive coordinator.
Yeah, well,
I don't think he would do that.
no,
Although,
I think
who knows?
We have talked about that sort of thing, and he would kind of overshadow the rest of the staff, don't you think?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, we're going to talk to Don Laible coming up in a few minutes. Don, of course, is in the wrestling world and all of that, and he, of course, does some sports commentating for us and some sports editorials. Don, I got to tell you, is on this whole story about Vince McMahon. And
So what's this recent thing now?
is a biggie. So Vince McMahon is now in the middle of probably what could very well be the court case of his life, as he's being charged with not only sexual
Harassment?
well, even forcing
Assault?
saying that sexual assault. I don't know how far they're going, but where they're going is sex trafficking. And
What?
there's a female who was a young lady at the time on the WWE staff claiming that not only was it so bad and real, but there was a settlement made, and they were paying her on a monthly basis. The first payment was $1 million, and then they stopped paying,
Oh, boy.
which is where the lawsuit is basically coming into play. So we'll talk to Don about that story coming up. Richard says, enough talk about the rain. Only a drizzle outside right now. Well, it's not only a drizzle outside our studios.
Richard, I don't know if you in
Maybe-
your basement, you can't
Maybe,
see outside.
well, it's possible where he is at. It's drizzling, but it's still raining pretty hard outside here. But I do see, we just saw the weather map, and you're absolutely right. It looks like it's going to begin to dissipate, but the rain really came down. Came down pretty good. But Richard, you can all feel at ease. Richard says it's all over. What else this morning? This is a great story out of January 6th. If you follow any of it, and I realize, if you're on the anti-Trump side, you can't wait for all these people to be convicted and put in jail. And if you're on the Trump side, maybe you don't even believe it happened that day. I don't know. But a man is asking the courts right now in federal court. He's from Wayne County. He was at January 6th. He was there, but he's saying he feels he deserves probation. And the reason is because he said, I never was going. I wasn't going. But I met this beautiful woman who is my girlfriend. Her name is Renee. And she said she would marry me if I went and protested on January 6th.
How romantic.
So I went. And he's saying it's not my fault. Okay, that's Davey. It's not drizzling. It's raining hard. Anyway, his name is Scott Columbus of Wolcott in Wayne County. Had never traveled outside of New York in his life. Has severe anxiety when driving long distances and didn't want to make the trip. But he very much wanted to be Renee Fada's girlfriend. His lawyers argued in court. She promised that she would be his girlfriend and maybe even wife someday if he went. So he said, I had no choice. I needed this woman.
I hate to say, sucker.
Well, I also hate to say that many men in the world are guided by and lured in by a beautiful woman and by love. Yeah. Call it love if you like. I find that to be an interesting story. And also, are you paying attention to all these stories already about this solar eclipse?
Mm-hmm.
And it's very interesting. It'll be a total solar eclipse hitting a swath of New York State. It will be just on the full solar eclipse will be on the other side of Rome, where you would be able to literally, it'll be completely dark. You're really playing this for me? It'll be completely dark. And it's funny, I thought of that. I don't even know what pie you have.
It's on
kill
3.
It. Kill it, please. Kill it. Thank you. It will major distraction.
I couldn't help myself.
And they're already warning people, don't look at there's all these things. You have to have glasses. The Syracuse Mets are actually going to be handing out free glasses if you go to the game, they have a game that day, and they're going to be handing out free glasses, and you'll be able to sit there in the stadium and see the full total eclipse.
That's pretty awesome.
And this is a big thing, because we've had partial eclipses, but this is a total eclipse. It will get pitch black.
It's just going to have the ring around it. Ring around
if you're in the right place, you'll barely see that ring, but you will. There will be a ring. And now we're going to be in a partial mode, but if all we have to do is travel towards Syracuse at the right time, and there'll be about 3 minutes of darkness. It's kind of cool.
3 minutes?
I think
wow.
You're going to see a lot of people do some traveling for this. Is that Don on?
Might go to the
3?
Syracuse Mets game for that.
That'd be a way to do it, and you get the free glasses out there in Syracuse. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, from the beautiful sunny state of Florida, the one and only Don Laible. Don, good morning.
Hey, good morning. And look, at baseball, man, they don't miss a trick.
No.
You got an eclipse, darn it, we're giving you glasses. Come out to the ballpark.
And those glasses are going to have the Syracuse Mets logo on the side.
With probably a sponsor's name on it.
You're that's absolutely right. But it'll be a collector's item, something to hold on to, no doubt. What do you, Don? What do you make of the? And by the way, I saw a current photo of Vince McMahon.
Ooh.
And
Whitman.
he's donning a 1920s, 30s Hollywood mustache that today, I'm afraid, makes him look like someone who could sex traffic someone. To me, anyway.
Well, there you go. I think it's his later in life rebellion. When I first saw that a couple months ago, same thing. I thought, whoa, what's
what
wrong
are
with
you doing?
this?
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you. At first, as someone who's been around pro wrestling since 1972, every time you think you've seen it all, you heard it all, you haven't.
Yeah.
When I was alerted to this yesterday, and I'm reading the lawsuit, and the Wall Street Journal has it out there. I think it's like 52 pages if you want to read it, and it's as graphic as can be with the text messages. My first thought was, now McMahon's family is kind of disarray. He and his wife, they both live in Florida, but they've been separated. I don't know if it's legally, but they live separate lives for many, many years. His children, his daughters, allegedly is getting a divorce from her husband, who's now running the company for TKO, Paul Levesque. His son hasn't had much to do with the company in many years. It's total dysfunction. However, let me say this. Back in the early 90s, when Vince McMahon was taken to the feds took him to court, they were trying to say he was trafficking the steroids and whatnot.
Yep.
At that time also, there was a secretary at the time, WWF, where this was being talked about, that she supposedly received hush money because of similar things that we just heard about was going on back then. And I think with the proof, the text messages, the specific names of the people that are used in there, it's just unbelievable that someone, as 80 or plus years old, that the money, the billions supposedly that he has, just changes people. And I think if it ever came at a better time, at least he's pretty much out of the company. I mean, he has some stock and whatnot, but his power is not even there anymore. But still, his name will be, meshed with the name of the company.
Yeah, well, yeah.
That can't help shareholders. That can't go away quick enough. They just announced that they're going to be being taken off the air on USA Network for Monday Night Raw in September, because in January they're going to Netflix. This can't come at a worse time for the company. But I also have to think, being around the wrestling business for many years, people that the accuser here who was supposedly getting a $3 million payoff, and there was another person that was also getting a payoff.
And she apparently got like $1 million of it, right?
$1 million, but he stiffed her for $2 million.
Yeah.
So, I would get mad too if I had $3 million coming to me and someone said, forget it. Here's just $1 million. But it couldn't come at a worse time for them. And the one thing I say, and I think as a father, I have a daughter. The person that's there getting hired at $300,000 a year with no, no skills to work there, other than she's drop dead gorgeous in my opinion. She knew what she was getting into. She wasn't. I can't believe she was that naive, and she could have left at any time she wanted. So I think.
Well, I want to say I just want to come in on that just to be cover all the bases, and that is a lot of times they're young, and the problem is all I can tell you, Don, is you've driven with me when I was much younger. So right? I mean, Don was there. I've talked about on the air the time that I literally changed my radiator on my Delta 88 on the New York State.
Who does that? Who has a spare radiator?
I had it in the trunk, and it was overheating. So I'm like, listen, I can change the radiator. It'll take me 10 minutes. And I changed the radiator on the thruway. Don was there. But what I'm saying is, I think when we're 18, 19, 20, 21, and, a woman will tell you that a man doesn't get there until he's 61, that I think we're vulnerable. And I think you make decisions that you look back on and say, wow, I never would have done that if that evil had not talked me into it or whatever. So
they're impressionable.
And the only thing I would say, Don, is and I get where you're coming from, but none of us know unless we were in her shoes. So that's the only thing I'm going to say.
Again, she was being paid a lot of money, so
yes, she was.
Also that changes things.
It does. There's no doubt about it. Yep.
Ironically, this weekend they're having the Royal Rumble, one of their big shows here in Tampa, and I bet that's going to be the topic that everybody's be talking about,
right,
other than what's going on there. But I have to tell you that in the wrestling business, the great Bobby Heenan once said that if people in wrestling weren't in wrestling, they're qualified for two other jobs. One, working in a circus, two, being a prisoner in jail.
Yeah.
And he was right. The more you get closer to it, the further you want to get from it because you see how seedy it is. A friend of mine told me, who worked in the music industry for many decades, said wrestling business is dirtier than the music industry.
Wow.
And I mean,
that's pretty dirty.
Fact,
yeah.
I'm going to write a piece next week about my experiences, why I personally ran away from wrestling after many years.
And if I can just interrupt on that, you're basing your real experience living in that world. You worked in that world, and from your personal experience, here you were making practically nothing, and here she is making all of this money, and you making practically nothing, and you looked at it for its face value and said, I got to get out of here before something bad happens. I can see you having an opinion like you have, based on personal experience.
One of the things, I'm going across the bridge in Boston to Worcester with two top stars of the ECW. The one manager's carrying two bags. One has a championship belt in it. The other has a couple of kilos of marijuana in there that he has to make a drop. And I'm thinking, what happens if we get stopped? And the police search the car.
Yeah.
And the car, the guys in the car already smoking as they're driving. Those are the kind of things that started getting to me where I got to get out of this.
Yeah.
Something bad can happen, and it usually does. But interesting, I invite everybody, go to the Wall Street website, Wall Street Journal, and look at, they have a link to the lawsuit, and it's riveting reading. But you know what? For some reason, it's just not surprising anymore because it is a seedy business, and hopefully it'll change now that they're have TKO took them over. Dwayne Johnson is now on their board of directors.
I saw that. Yeah,
it's just awful. As a father, if that was my daughter, I don't know what I'd want to do more. Attack Vince McMahon or just cry.
Well, Don, it is interesting. Obviously, this lawsuit on its own is going to really tarnish dramatically the McMahon name, keeping in mind that they've already agreed to settle with her. They were already in the middle of paying her off to keep her quiet, and then they reneged on that. But then they're adding these federal charges of sex trafficking, which could be very, very. I mean, this is the type of stuff that puts people like Vince McMahon behind bars.
And ironically, next month, Netflix was going to start running their documentary or autobiography, however they were classifying it, on Vince McMahon. It's been delayed a couple of times, but next month is when they were going to run their series on him. And I got to think that then they're going to delay it again, because how can you do that and not have this situation included in that?
And please, I do understand this is a lawsuit that has been filed, not criminal charges. However, when you're opening a can of worms that could be very, very damaging to. And I don't know how Vince McMahon would handle things in prison.
No. He would just be like a constant wrestling match all the time. Don, you talked about the brand, and it'll hurt the brand and shareholders. But with Vince McMahon's exit, I can't imagine that the fandom of wrestling will go away. I think there would just be maybe a new face of it that's needed to salvage that.
Let's ask. Davey, you're not going to stop watching, are you?
No.
No. He'll still watch.
Well, the other big news is this week is Raw's going to Netflix.
Right.
Starting in 2025.
Yeah, Don already talked about that.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Don.
What TKO might do is to have another face of the company. It's a no-brainer to have Dwayne Johnson out there more and more, because he's a trusted brand. He's liked. He has a history. And it easily can make people forget the name Vince McMahon, and it will be forgotten, and the whole company will.
Don, I thought the timing of The Rock was there was no
almost like somebody
no
knew it
question.
was coming.
Yeah. Right? Don't you feel that way?
Yeah, I do, and also I think a lot had to do with it. By him joining the board, they gave him the rights to the trademark of The Rock, which I always thought he had.
They did.
Yep.
So now he has that. So it's quid pro quo, maybe, but I think that's going to be the smart move. But I did want to end with this. If people have some time, go to the WIBX website. I had done 2 stories in the last several weeks on my experiences in wrestling. One was with Ric Flair, and one was just general of what it's like behind the scenes. And I really took a lot of pride in writing that, and I'd like people to check it out. And next week, I'm going to do something about my experiences with ECW, and without incriminating myself, I'm going to tell some things that I was subjected to before I said, you know what, I get it. This is not what I went.
I have been trying to talk Don for 20 years, talk him into writing a book about the stuff that he knows. It's amazing, Don, the stuff that you know and you firsthand witnessed.
You're a great writer, and you've got a brain full of knowledge there, Don. Come on, what are you doing?
Let me tell you a quick story. I'm at Nassau Coliseum in Long Island. I'm with some of the WWE guys. That night, it's a Saturday. That's Saturday night, they're wrestling at Madison Square Garden. From Madison Square Garden, we're going to drive to Boston the next day for pay-per-view. That night that we're at Madison Square Garden, Donald Trump is there. That's at the time when he was involved with them. Mm-hmm. We leave Nassau Coliseum in the afternoon. It's about 4 o'clock. We're on the Long Island Expressway. And if anybody's been down that way, you know what the traffic is like, especially on the weekend. So I'm in a car with 3 WWE guys. We're driving well past the speed limit on the Long Island Expressway, and somebody cuts us off. Now, the people I'm driving with, they're muscle monsters, okay? It doesn't take much to get them to fly off the handle. So the person at the wheel starts chasing this car on the Long Island Expressway, and I'm thinking I'm going to die. I'm not going to make it with this. So the guy at the wheel, the wrestler, pulls across the Long Island Expressway, blocks traffic at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, gets out of the car, starts walking towards the other car who's trapped, and that guy, you could see his face through the windshield, is frightened now that, he's no longer the tough guy who flipped somebody off and kept on going. And the other 2 guys get out of the car. They pull him away. As the wrestler's trying to push in the windshield, he's hitting it repeatedly, and I'm in the car by myself thinking, I'm never getting back to Utica, never going to make it. By the grace of God, they pull him back in. They get into the car. We speed away. Traffic continues then on the Long Island Expressway. Wow. It was just a surreal time. That's when I knew it's time to get away, because the guys today, they're not the adults that I'm used to being around in that business.
Yeah.
So it's just crazy moments. But
well, you're
again,
dealing with
McMahon. I think this is the first time, and it may come out in legal depositions.
Yeah, I'm going to place your wrestling stories on the Keeler page on our website. So anytime after 7 o'clock, you'll be able to get them there. And these are I think one of them is about being a wrestling junkie, and so those will all be on. So you do the drop down, hit the Keeler page, and they'll be right there for you to check out with Don. Don, we appreciate it. Have a wonderful week. Thank you. Weekend.
Take care.
All right. Thanks so much. Let me keep it going here, if you're all right with that, Andrew. Willie Waffle.
Oh yeah, Willie.
What do you think on the Vince McMahon stuff here, Willie?
That is one of the most shocking things I have ever read.
Yeah.
That whole story about the case and what is being alleged that he did, and the way he conducted himself as let's be honest, the CEO of a multi-billion-dollar company. It blew my mind, and I hope and pray that young woman, if all these things happened, find some peace in her life, because that was some of the most graphic, disgusting stuff I have ever read in my life.
Well, and Willie,
it's graphic.
And
it's terrible.
And the real sad part about this is I've just now started to kind of read through the lawsuit. It all started with she was downtrodden, just taking care of her parents who died, and she was down on her luck.
And this
he
is,
just
I gotta
swooped
tell you,
in and took advantage, allegedly.
This is the area where I feel we have to be very, very careful on. She was paid a lot of money. She knew what she was getting into, ... You got to be careful, because the predator always preys on the vulnerable. And it seems like this, at a young age, she was pretty darn vulnerable, and you just prey on their immaturity and take advantage. That happens all the time.
And desperation.
Yeah.
In this case.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing. It sounds like, he was leading her on in many, many ways, with promises of this and that, if you just play along, yada, yada. You're going to probably hear some allegations of him holding the job over her head if she didn't go along, if that is alleged as well. And I'm kind of like the rest of you guys. I think I'm sitting back and wondering what else is going to come out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like,
who else?
There's been a history of women that Vince McMahon has been involved with that have made allegations like this. And I'm kind of curious, what about all the other wrestlers? I mean, in this case, Brock Lesnar has been brought in, allegedly involved in a minor way. Who else is out there? All the buddies of Vince McMahon, and you start thinking about what a massive scandal this could become as it expands.
Going to be very interesting, and as I said, I'll have those Don Laible wrestling stories up on the Keeler page right after 7. All right, let's see here. I thought it was interesting to hear Billy Joel has a new material coming out.
Yeah, Billy Joel, man, he has decided that he's going to jump back into writing songs, or at least he wrote one. So next Thursday, February 1st, he is going to release his first new song he did like a little thing in 2007, but his last full album was back in 1993, guys. It was River of Dreams, and he has a new song coming out on Thursday called "Turn the Lights Back On." Well, just in time for him to start going out on tour with Stevie Nicks and Sting, and he's wrapping up the Madison Square Garden residency over the next few months. And I just think it's great. Listen, I've always been a big Billy Joel fan, and so to hear that he wrote something else again is really, really cool, because I was like you. I was like, he's made it pretty clear he's never going to write anything ever again, and let's just enjoy the stuff he has.
Yeah, and here we are. All of us.
Well, he also recently had a new child in the last few years, so I mean, I got to imagine.
Man,
not that he's hurting for money, but
I'm telling you, we were at the show and his kids were there, and I'm like, yeah, I forgot who was sitting next to me, and they said, "Is that those are his grandchildren?" No, those are his kids.
Were you at the show where the kids came out and sang and Elvis Costello was there and all that?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, but we were expecting Elvis Costello to come out. I was at a restaurant that was recommended by Billy Joel's then wife, who's on the one of the Food Network shows. I forgot her name.
Oh, Katie Joel.
Katie Joel. She was on the air and she said, "Oh, you're going to New York City this weekend. You got to go to this restaurant." And we went. We've been there several times since. In fact, you go there. It opens at 5. You wait in line to get in. No reservations. So we got in and we're sitting there. We were the last of the night, and long story short, it was Elvis Costello sitting with the owner, and they were closing things down. The owner was sitting there, and we chatted with the owner on the way out, and it was Elvis Costello. Pretty cool. So clearly they're all friends, but the daughters were there at the show, and but it was not that show. So
okay.
All right, let's talk about in theaters. What do you have? There's one I know in particular that I'm curious about. American Fiction. What do you think?
Yeah, so this is a light week for theaters this week, guys. Like this is a big streaming week. So with no real big major releases, some of your Oscar-nominated films that you haven't had a chance to see, that you haven't heard of, are kind of expanding their releases this weekend, and that's what American Fiction plays into. And for my money, I think it's one of the best films I saw all last year. And this is a film with Jeffrey Wright. He stars as this frustrated writer. He's an African-American writer. He's very upset at the types of books that are kind of branded as the African-American experience, the tropes and the stereotypes. It just angers him. But he decides he's just going to write a book totally mocking all of it. He's gonna fake it and write the kind of book that he absolutely hates. And, of course, it becomes a big success. And now he's got to deal with that. Now, that's just part of the movie. It really is, in a lot of ways, an examination of this character. And we see, like, his relationship with his family, his brother, played by Sterling K. Brown, who also got an Oscar nomination, his sister, trying to take care of his mother, the new woman in his life, and really, we see him we kind of are trying to figure out, why is he so angry all the time? And I think that's what makes the movie very, very interesting. It has some funny moments, too. I'm at 4 Waffle for American Fiction. I think it's great.
Wow.
It is rare to get a 4 Waffle review.
And it's only available in theaters right now.
Yeah, for now. I have a feeling it's going to be streaming fairly quickly.
All right.
Maybe by the time the Oscars air.
I'm sure. All right, a couple of others. In terms of streaming, what do you think? What's new? What is worthy of a view and a long view oftentimes?
Well, I think, there's 2 that are out there that are really of big interest this week. The first one, Griselda, the new Netflix series with Sofia Vergara, and basically she's playing it's a true story. Griselda Blanco, who was the Colombian godmother of the cocaine trade down in Miami in the 70s and 80s, and it's basically Sofia Vergara with a really bad nose job. Trying to play ugly, trying to play mean, trying to play that she's the toughest boss in the world. And it feels like every single stereotype is here. I can predict everything that's going to happen in this series because I've just seen it done all the time, every time.
Everywhere else.
There's nothing really shocking here. There's nothing new here, even though it is a true story. I'm at like 1.5 waffles for Griselda.
Okay, and then the other one is on Amazon, right?
Yeah, this is Expats. This is a new Amazon series with Nicole Kidman, and it really is. It's kind of this look at these 3 women who are living in Hong Kong. They're expatriates in Hong Kong, and kind of trying to manage their lives, their complicated lives. And Nicole Kidman really is the star of the show. She has the most compelling story. Her story is that her son has disappeared. Like he's just gone, and nobody knows really what happened or where he is. And so we see that impact on her and her family and her relationships, and then we see the lives the other women have, and we see the lives of like the live-in help that they have, and the weird role that they have as being part of the family but not really, and so there's a lot of just layers of things going on, but there's not one big story tying it all together. So I think you almost get like scenes from a life. It would have been an interesting way way to call this. So I'm at 3 waffles for expat.
All right. And then one last question for you. I watched this on the Food Network, the Kids Baking Championship. And what is the story behind Valerie Bertinelli being fired?
Yeah, this is really interesting. Because I have an opinion about it, and I'm sure you're going to have a very similar feeling. So Valerie Bertinelli had a series and had a relationship with the Food Network up until 2022. In 2022, Warner Brothers Discovery, the company, was having a lot of financial problems, and her contract ended, and it was not picked up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she had already filmed the 2023 version of the Kids Baking Championship. So that aired last year. And then they did the Christmas version or the holiday version, and she wasn't on it this fall. And so all the fans were talking about, like, where's Valerie? Why isn't she part of this part of the Kids Baking Championship? And basically she came out this week. She's like, yeah, well, they didn't ask me to come back. That's right, they didn't ask you to come back, Valerie. You got fired 2 years ago.
Right.
Like why is this a surprise? And she said at one point, they kind of ghosted me. They didn't reach out to tell me I wasn't going to do it. No, Valerie, they told you very explicitly in 2022 you were not going to do it. So listen, we've all been fired. Do we sit around going, I wonder if that place will call me back for that one special occasion? Right. No, you're gone.
It'd be like me being fired last year and wondering if they were going to have me for the radiothon. I wonder if they're going to. I know they haven't called me. They've been ghosting me.
So people were wondering what happened to Valerie Bertinelli. Well, it was pretty big news that her contract ended in 2022. Why was everybody wondering? So it was like this big internet brouhaha, and she decided to fan the flames a little bit. Well, guess who's never going to get invited back now? Valerie Bertinelli.
Yeah, she's trying to score off it again, off the publicity. Yeah. All right, Willie, good stuff. Enjoy the weekend. Go Bills.
Yeah, that worked out well.
Didn't work out all that well for us. All right, we'll talk next week. Thank you. Have a wonderful weekend.
See you next week.
All right. It's 7 o'clock. I guess I'll do this for you. It's 7 o'clock. It's been raining, but we're down to a drizzle. WIBX Utica Rome. It's 7.
He got what he asked for. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's what Alabama's governor said after convicted killer Kenneth Smith was put to death in a brand new way.
Smith was executed for the 1988 capital murder of Elizabeth Dorleen Sennett.
And Alabama Corrections Commissioner John Hamm says that execution, a suffocation, went as expected, with Smith struggling a little bit. The witnesses say he convulsed for several minutes, appearing to gasp for air.
The first person in the country to be executed with nitrogen gas. To carry it out, a mask is put over the inmate's face and air is replaced with pure nitrogen gas. Kenneth Smith chose the nitrogen gas method after the first lethal injection attempt didn't work.
Fox's Connor Hansen. Evan Gershkovich was back in court in Moscow, where the American journalist was ordered to stay behind bars through March, when it'll be a year since the Wall Street Journal reporter was arrested, accused of being a spy that he and the Journal deny. The U.S. says Gershkovich is wrongfully detained, demanding Russia release him. Texas is facing a federal deadline today in a border standoff amid a record surge of illegal immigration.
The biggest mistake the Biden administration could make would be confronting law enforcement or our military, our National Guard, at our border, at this park.
Republican Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick has 25 other GOP-led states support Texas, which put up razor wire in a park in Eagle Pass to keep migrants out. The Supreme Court has ruled U.S. border agents should be allowed to go in and cut that wire. Democrats keep pushing a compromise on border security. Fox's Jared Halpern reports.
Republican leaders in the Senate said they have not walked away from talks, but some conservatives are questioning whether to support a potential agreement if it lacks support from the increasingly likely Republican nominee, former President Trump.
Trump's statement says they should say no to a deal that would also give military aid to Ukraine unless it's perfect. Britain's King Charles is hospitalized in London. He'll undergo a prostate operation. America's listening to Fox News.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The patented key ingredient is something called Testofen, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text ROCK to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text ROCK to 42424. That's ROCK to 42424.
Morning, WIBX 950 News Time, 7:03. I'm Andrew Dominio. Still raining here in Marcy. We're at 38 degrees. It has slowed to a bit of a drizzle now. Your full forecast is coming up. This update brought to you by Home and Hospital Medical Supplies and Service, carrying a wide selection of home medical equipment. Call them at 315-724-6767. Online, it's H&HMedicalNY.com. The man who allegedly shot and killed a pregnant woman in Syracuse has been ordered to undergo a mental health exam. Results of that test would determine if he is competent to stand trial. David Kirby was arraigned yesterday after being accused of opening fire towards 26-year-old Apriona Harris last month. Harris was shot in the head and died days after being wounded, but the child survived. It's believed Kirby is the baby's father, but a DNA test is needed to confirm that. A drain clog on Columbia Street in Utica caused some issues for the Wynn Hospital Thursday afternoon. Officials say they were in the process of cleaning up the affected areas on the first floor of the hospital. MVHS's Senior Vice President for Marketing and Strategy, Caitlin McCann, says patient care was not impacted. She did not specify how the first floor of the hospital was impacted. Officials with the Mohawk Valley Water Authority say this is not a water authority issue. The city of Utica was in the area with cameras doing what's called televising the lines in an effort to determine if this is an issue at the city's end. It looks like
amazing. They got to televise everything today. It's unbelievable.
Who wants to see it?
Unbelievable.
It looks like the pending sale of the Jamesville Correctional Facility may end up being delayed a year. The Onondaga County Legislature is considering renewing its moratorium that would prevent the prison from being sold. But if that happens, inmates and employees could still be moved to the county's Justice Center. Sheriff Toby Shelley has filed a lawsuit aimed at preventing the correctional facility from being shut down. It's estimated that closing it could save the county up to $10 million a year. And British actor Tom Hollander says he received a hefty box office bonus for Avengers by getting mistaken for Spider-Man actor Tom Holland. Tom Hollander, if you watched White Lotus, was the British guy that Jennifer Coolidge was kind of duped by. Well, he was mistaken for...
I don't want to... No spoilers, but...
Yeah, sorry.
In the end...
Yeah, right. Sorry.
Anyway.
And spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler.
But anyway, that actor was mistaken for Spider-Man actor Tom Holland. The 56-year-old actor told Late Night with Seth Meyers it was a 7-figure sum. He joked that it's been difficult getting confused with the younger actor since he was, in his words, here first. It is 7:06. Your weather forecast is according to Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Craig Flint, brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville.
I'm Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Craig Flint in the WIBX Weather Center. Today, damp and mild as widespread rain tapers to scattered showers by late morning. Remaining overcast with drizzle and patchy fog, a high near 45. Tonight, overcast with drizzle, locally dense fog near 35. And tomorrow, patchy fog early, then mostly cloudy, a bit cooler near 40. For more on your local forecast, tune to Eyewitness News at 6 on WUTR. I'm meteorologist Craig Flint on WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM.
38 degrees with some light drizzle at 7:07. Sports brought to you by IBEW NECA Contractors Local 43. Well, the stage is set to see who will go to the Super Bowl. That's right. We have championship conference weekend, and of course, we've got the big tailgate party at the Waterfront Grill, and it's happening Sunday from 1 to 5 p.m. It's going to be an awesome time. I'm upset that I will miss it. It's always a good time, but it's sure to be a great time.
You know what everyone's going to be saying there?
Yeah, what's that?
Where's Andrew?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure that's what
they're
going to
be saying that.
That's right.
Sunday, 1 till 5, Waterfront Grill.
So that is where you will start your viewing of the AFC title game. First is the Chiefs head to Baltimore to play the top-seeded Ravens. The day wraps up in Santa Clara when the number 1-seeded 49ers battle the Lions in the NFC title game to see who will be playing in Vegas. Shocking news for Bill Belichick, I'm sure. The Atlanta Falcons have named their next head coach, and it's not him. ESPN reports Raheem Morris was hired on Thursday. The 47-year-old previously coached in Atlanta on an interim basis in 2020 when Dan Quinn was fired. He did lead the team to a not impressive record as they were at 4-7 in 11 games. And he was passed over for Arthur Smith at the head coaching job, but where he earned his salt was in the Los Angeles Rams organization, where he was a part of the Super Bowl team, a big part of their offense. So we will see what happens with that. But, yeah, Bill Belichick not probably very happy because that's the only team that really showed him any attention, and now he's not going to be going there. The Utica Comets are on the road tonight. 7:05, they'll play in Rochester against the Americans. They will be on home ice tomorrow night at 7 p.m. against the Syracuse Crunch. And I believe the Utica Men's Pioneers, they have some games this weekend. I'm just pulling it up here. Bear with me as I stall because I did not pull it up in advance, so I apologize about that. But Utica University men's hockey team will be playing this weekend, and they will take on Nazareth from the Adirondack Bank Center tonight. And they'll be in Rochester tomorrow to face Nazareth at 3 p.m. So there you go. We've got a lot of hockey this weekend.
And I'd like to, we should thank management here at Town Square Media. Davey, go ahead. You start.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you.
He's already back for thirds.
He's back for thirds.
Syracuse basketball also this weekend.
Oh, you're still doing that?
Yes, sir.
What do you think about Dino Babers getting an offensive coordinator job at Arizona? Ridiculous.
You think it's ridiculous?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what did you think he was going to get? You think he was going to be the head coach of the Falcons or what?
No.
I think he's coming off a rough run in Syracuse.
Yeah.
The problem is
he's still owed.
If I'm Dino, I would be like, look at all the money you're spending right now on bringing players in. Why didn't you do this when I was here? Because they're spending a lot of money. I got to tell you, I think Syracuse is going to be competitive this year. How are the Eggs? Pretty good.
Yeah, they go against Stanford and UNLV this year too.
They do.
Coming up.
Yeah, that announcement was coming up. Anyway, thank you to management for making breakfast for everybody.
Thank you very much.
That was very kind.
Thank you.
Very, very nice. And I just had within my diet, stayed on the diet.
Yeah, they made a healthy breakfast too.
Yeah, it was healthy. I don't know if my diet is healthy, but and I washed it down with a nice, clean, crisp glass of vodka. So it's going to be a great show. Woo-hoo! Buckle up, baby. No. Hold on tight. We have a lot to get to. Coming up, the Oneida Nation is beginning their next phase. The investment is getting underway. We'll speak with Joel Barkin about all of that. Their economic impact report is out. Also, Micah's free money question of the day. A little later on this morning, we'll talk about Utica Royalties.
So this is an organization. It's run by Hawa Peters, and Brian Lazor is a local photographer in the area. We spoke to him. I don't know if we talked to him on the air much, but we've spoken to him. He is a veteran, and he spends his time doing photography for local organizations for free, just because he wants to get better at his craft. Well, he got me in touch with Miss Peters, and what they do is really awesome. They're at least some part of trying to get kids on the right track. It's through the Utica Center for Development, and they're proud to be home of the Utica Royalties, which is a free program to kids of all ages offering opportunities, such as dance, drumming, art, and even hygiene classes on Fridays and Saturdays. So they're making a big difference in the community.
I can get a few adults into that program.
Well, we'll have to ask her.
We'll get into that in the 8 o'clock hour. Hubbuckus free money question of the day coming up soon. Get ready for that. We'll check into it with Davey in a second to see what kind of money we're talking about today. 7:12. We'll come right back at WIBX.
You work hard for a living here in the Mohawk Valley. You make a difference. You leave your mark. You deserve a financial advisor who works hard for you.
Local, prudent, and trustworthy. Van Meter and Van Meter are your full-service financial professionals. I'm Chris Van Meter, and I've spent my life helping people with financial planning, investing for the future, managing their wealth, planning their taxes, thinking about their legacy.
And I'm Dave Van Meter. Our team offers you the deep bench of financial professionals you deserve. We have the education, the experience, and the tools to make a difference for your future. Visit us at VanMeterLLC.com.
We're Van Meter and Van Meter. Call us at 315-823-9200 or visit us in Little Falls, Schuyler, or Palatine Bridge.
Securities and advisory services offered through Cattery Grant & Company Incorporated, a registered investment advisor and member FINRA SIPC. Van Meter and Van Meter LLC and Cattery Grant & Company Incorporated are separate entities.
There's no better time than the new year to help protect your identity and finances. LifeLock detects potential threats to your identity that you may miss on your own. If you do become a victim, a U.S.-based LifeLock restoration specialist will work to fix it. LifeLock is the New Year's resolution that's easy to keep. Save 25% off your first year. Call 1-800-LifeLock or go to lifelock.com. Promo code CLAY to save 25%. That's lifelock.com, promo code CLAY.
Stanley Theater presents Standards and Stories with Tony Danza, April 6, 2024 at 7:30 p.m. Tony Danza and his four-piece band are making their debut at the Stanley Theater with their hit live show Standards and Stories on Saturday, April 6 at 7:30 p.m. The hit live show has entertained audiences around the country, with the New York Times raving Tony's a live wire who tap dances, plays the ukulele, tells stories, and radiates irresistible charm. The New York Times reviewed, he excludes the kind of charisma that can't be taught. Tickets on sale now through Ticketmaster.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Hi, I'm Martha Stewart. Every year, more than 4 million pets enter shelters here in the United States. My friends at American Humane have been helping animals since 1877. The goal is to ensure that pets have a safe shelter, especially during natural disasters. Adopting a shelter pet allows shelters to help more animals awaiting care. Please consider adopting today and take some time to learn more about American Humane's other work at americanhumane.org.
You're all set with your Medicare prescriptions, Mrs. Brown.
This is not just low-cost copays at Walgreens.
I can actually help you set up 90-day refills if you want.
This is having a partner you can trust. Get low-cost copays, 90-day refills, and delivery from your neighborhood Walgreens. This is being independent. Together. Walgreens.
Restrictions apply. For details, see walgreens.com/pharmacy.
Shop the Red Tag January clearance sale only at Carl's Wholesale Furniture Warehouse, New Hartford Shopping Center, or mycarls.com.
It's Carl's Wholesale Furniture Warehouse's Red Tag January clearance. When Carl's has to make room, you will definitely save. Carl's showroom is filled with Red Tag savings. Find hundreds of items marked down. Sofas and recliners, red tagged. Dining sets and dinettes, red tagged. Motion furniture, leather furniture, red tagged. Even bedrooms and mattresses, red tagged. Plus, special financing and fast delivery during the Red Tag January clearance. On now at Carl's Wholesale Furniture Warehouse.
Hey, it's the final weeks of the New York Sash. Buy two New York Sash windows, get one free. Buy two, get one free. It's the final weeks. If you notice your windows are drafty, heating bills are high, your window frames are old or rotted, it's hard to open, hard to close, air coming through when you don't want it to. I know all about these windows. We have replaced our old windows with New York Sash windows, and we have one more project to go. The buy two, get one free sale continues. It's the final weeks, though. This is your last chance to get in. You can see them online at NewYorkSash.com or visit them on Oriskany Boulevard in Whitesboro. Andrew, buy 4, get
2.
Buy 10, get
5.
Buy 30,
get 15.
Free.
For your
mansion. So there's no limit.
For your mansion.
For your mansion. There's no limit to the savings. It's New York Sash, Oriskany Boulevard, Whitesboro, and NewYorkSash.com.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
All right, I want to know, what do we know about that accident that happened? Where was it? Was on
not much, Bill. It was on Route 49 in
Route 49 in Whitestown.
Yes,
and all we know is that at the end of it, the vehicle is fully engulfed in flames, and there's nothing but a shell of that vehicle left.
And as a result, I mean, I was getting reports from several people on Facebook and all around that traffic was backed up for a long time. People were stuck in a traffic jam. I think 49 was closed down for a portion of it. So we're working to try to get some information. Originally, I had spoken to Sheriff Maciel. He said that it was a state police investigation, and I spoke with Trooper Jack Keeler, and I'm waiting to get details from him on it. So not much known specifically at this time, but we will obviously try to dig in and get as much information as possible.
I had a ton of comments yesterday on Liberal Lou.
Oh,
Lou, we have always listen. I appreciate other people's opinions. How do you place your opinion up against the opposition's opinion unless you know what the opposition's opinion is? But I was getting people, do not allow him on again.
Well,
You know,
that's a
stuff
little
like that.
extreme.
I'm not going to, listen, anybody can call in at any time. Big Honey and Hecla. I think Liberal Lou needs to cut his gummies in half in the morning.
Yeah.
But then I have Dawn saying, Liberal Lou sniffs glue, and Brian saying, I think Liberal Lou needs some gummies in the morning. So which is it? I don't know. I don't know. Does he need them? Does he need to cut back? I don't know.
The gummies may calm him down because he does get really riled up. I mean, he gets himself very upset.
Davey, you took calls as well.
Yes.
People were like,
get him off.
Get him
this
off.
This is the end of the era. Get rid of him.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm not doing that.
This is the end of the era. Oh my God.
It's the end of the Liberal Lou era.
Yes.
Don was on a little while ago talking about this Vince McMahon thing. How do you handle the fact that WWE is going to Netflix? You already have Netflix, right?
I don't have Netflix.
Oh, you're going to have to get it, though.
I don't. I haven't had
You
Netflix.
can get a very affordable subscription.
Are you watching, though? All this stuff is beginning to go to streaming where you have to pay for the service.
I will admit I don't have Netflix. I have the network for Peacock.
Peacock, because there's some stuff on Peacock.
I have the WWE network since they went to Peacock, but I don't have Netflix.
Well, you're going to see more of this next year.
To tell you the truth,
all right.
I don't watch Monday Night Raw and SmackDown that much like I used to.
Anyway.
I watch like tonight. SmackDown is live from Miami because the Royal Rumble's tomorrow night.
Okay,
I'll watch it. I'll probably watch it.
Did it dawn on you? Did you wake up one morning and be like, "Oh my God, I've been watching this all these years and it's not real"?
Yeah, I'm knowing it's not real.
Oh,
Don will knock you out for saying.
You're right. I know.
He'll be
well,
mad
listen, they're amazing at what they do, right?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, when Leon Etienne comes in, and by this way, his show's tickets still available at MagicRocks.com for tomorrow night. Leon will admit to you, the stuff I do these are magic tricks, illusions.
Yeah, right.
They're not real. But the amazement is how great. So why wouldn't we treat a WWE wrestler, the same way we treat someone like Leon? It's like, wow, you're so good at what you do.
But you're a big wrestling fan as a whole, right? So WWE is only one small microcosm of what there is out there, right? You're into some other different organizations now.
Yeah, there's All Elite Wrestling, who I absolutely love. I'm more into that than I am WWE.
Okay.
And there's TNA. There's NWA.
So this TKO is the new WWE?
Yeah, it's the UFC.
Well, you're going to be paying for a lot of this stuff, but you know what? The reality is you're already paying by having cable TV. You're already paying for it.
Well, all the pay-per-views are on Peacock.
And then pay-per-views.
Yeah.
Think about it. You're paying to view it already. Everybody's up in arms.
I only get into the big pay-per-views like Royal Rumble, Survivor Series, and WrestleMania.
And what do you think about just final question, what do you think about the new look for Vince McMahon?
Terrible.
Doesn't he? He almost looks like Clark Gable in I like in Frankly, My Dear.
Yeah, or who was it? Who's the artist with the melting clocks? I ran into Buck's brother, Stephen Buckley, recently, and him and I were talking about, for some reason, this guy, and I can't think of his name.
Okay, well, you will at some point. All right, Davey, back to work. Thanks, man.
You're welcome.
Nice job.
Thank you.
You all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Salvador Dali. He's
Salvador Dali. Let's see. The whole thing, new thing to rotate. They pay. You got to pay. This is some guy in the 540. You got to pay. Annoying as it is that some streaming services will own season 3 of a show, but another stream owns the rest of it.
That is frustrating.
That is frustrating.
Yeah.
Right? And that's beginning to happen. But it's when they decide we don't want this series anymore, and then another streaming service picks it up.
I fear that we're going to be in that situation with the show. So my fiance and I started watching Suits, which was on the USA Network.
Mm-hmm.
And Netflix only has season 1 through 8. And there was 9 seasons.
Okay.
So I pretty much have the 9th season. I think it's either Amazon or Paramount.
Yeah. That's the one thing that's nice about Apple TV is they take everything and combine it into one, and you don't even know what service as long as you're subscribed to the service. Okay, Larry says, Bill, if you need to take a break today, like it's really, you're tired, I am. How did you know, Larry? Take a break, get Liberal Lou on the line, just go to the bathroom, get a Diet Pepsi, get some of those eggs they made down the hallway, go out and clean off your car, make sure that everything's working, and
change your radiator.
Then take a 15-minute break and come back, and Lou will still be talking. All right.
Speaking of traffic incidents,
hold on. I'm not done yet.
Oh, sorry.
I'm not done yet.
I'm sorry.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, here he is, the man who's caused all the ruckus, Liberal Lou.
Oh,
well, Bill, I got great news for your audience. Heading out to Florida today, so they won't have to hear me for a couple of months.
Oh God, where are you? What time's your flight, Lou? Because I'm going to be at the Syracuse airport.
You might be on Andrew's flight today.
Where are you flying into?
Actually, we're flying in. We're taking Breeze Airway to Charleston first.
Oh,
okay. Okay. Now I want to get off politics for a second and show people that you're human. All right.
And just know I love Liberal Lou. We may not agree, but I
talk about. Is this your first time flying on Breeze?
Yes.
What do you hear? I'm hearing wonderful things about Breeze.
Yeah, I hear some negatives.
Oh.
But I mean, they're increasing their flights all over the country.
They are.
They've been very successful, but
they have
the biggest issue with them is you don't have a call-in service. Everything's done email, so you can't talk to a live human being.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well,
yeah.
There are worse things.
I will tell you. Some people I just don't want to talk to.
I don't want to talk to you.
But I got to tell you, what I want to talk about is your interview yesterday with John Decker.
Well,
great TV, phenomenal, person you have on your show. Great TV, by the way, is known as to be one of the most unbiased news services on the planet.
Well, first of all, before anybody calls John Decker a liberal or a rhino or whatever, John Decker used to work at Fox News. He then took this chief White House correspondent job with Great TV, and he's on with us every Thursday. John is, you'll never know Ever.
It is literally a crapshoot.
You will never, and by the way, he's the only of the White House press corps, he's the only one with a law degree. And by the way, he can argue a case before the Supreme Court. John, you will never know where he is politically because he takes everything from an independent standpoint. Now, the problem is if you're way on the left or you're way on the right, and that what his perception of what he has seen disagrees with your view, you're going to say, oh, he's a whatever. The reality is he's a true journalist, and I respect tremendously what he says. So what?
Well, so do I, Bill, and I can tell you, I think one time I sort of disagreed with a statement he made, but every time, I've probably heard him on your show 50 times.
Yeah.
He's right on the money every time, as unbiased as you could be. By the way, he was a Republican. He worked one of his first big jobs was he was a top aide for Senator Heinz, Republican, Pennsylvania. So
my point is, Lou.
Good enough.
My point,
to go to straight and narrow. So, but what do you think about his statement? I think he basically corroborated everything I said. I mean, of course, I'm seeing Joe Biden from afar, quite a distance.
Right.
He's right up nose to nose with him, and his statement was he has never seen any issue with Biden's mental state.
Yeah, but then you go to that speech in Wisconsin yesterday.
Hold on.
The Fox News attack dogs.
Can I talk for a second?
Sure.
Yeah.
So I actually got into it with someone recently, and it wasn't you, Lou. And because the statement was made that Biden doesn't know whether he's coming or going. And I only said, well, if we look at this, I try to look at things from both sides. And I know that angers both sides. I don't really care. I watch the left, I watch the right, I watch the middle, I watch all different sources and form my own conclusion. Now, the one thing that I can tell you is by saying it's not as bad as it seems with Biden. That's all I said, and I got beaten up over that. So yesterday, Lou, of course, you said Biden is in control. Some of your statements were that he's like the greatest president ever in the history of whatever.
His first 2 years were incredible. You look at the bills that he passed. Give me a comparison.
Okay.
But go ahead.
Listen. All I'm going to tell you is John Decker is with the president every single day as part of the White House press corps. So I said, John, and I trust him.
Yeah, me too.
I said, you're there. And he said, oh, I am probably at some point or other, I spend every day with the president, or at least in view or within 6 feet of the president. And so I said, so what's the truth? Is he cognitive? Does he have the ability to run the country? Is he mentally stable? Is he able to think? Is he able to run America? And John Decker's answer was absolutely. In fact, he said Biden is sharp as can be. Now, he has slowed down. He said, I've seen him slow down. His walking is slowed. Physically, you can tell that he is aged. He is old. But mentally, he is as sharp as ever. And he said this whole thing about when he says something stupid, and you're like, what? There you go. There's a perfect example. All you have to do is go back and look at the gaffes that come from Joe Biden and have come from Joe Biden in his entire career, through his entire life. At one point in his life, he was, as a younger person, he was a stutterer. So all I can tell you is that from John Decker, who I believe is as independent as you will ever get, he says stable and running the country.
And so I walked away from yesterday's show thinking like, okay, I trust John. And then you see this clip from him giving a speech in Wisconsin yesterday. And, I can send you the clip so you can hear the audio of it, but it translates to
I saw this.
The beer brewed here. It is used to make the brewed beer. During is define, oh, Earth Rider. Thanks for the Great Lakes. I wonder why.
Well,
I don't know what that is.
That's exactly.
I mean,
but I'm going to tell.
Somebody cutting it up, somebody playing with it.
That's not cutting it up. It was word for word.
He has a massive stuttering problem. Still, it's not cured. He has to speak in different ways than we speak. Sometimes it doesn't come out the right way. All I can say is, so John is with him every day. I've seen maybe 4 of his press conferences this year, and I've seen 3 of his major speeches. He's been right on the money with everyone, maybe 1 or 2 minor stumbles, which we all do. He's not a great speaker. I don't know. The same thing with Trump. I mean, I see these things about Trump.
I don't want to get into this part of it, honestly. I don't want to get into this. I'm just saying this is what John Decker said yesterday. We'll look into the clip from yesterday. I promise you I will look into it and get a feed that I trust and watch it again. But
another point of what I'm calling is there's a propaganda machine out there that is their job is to stay just the opposite of what John.
But to be fair, Lou, and I don't want to get into this morning. It's Friday.
You're going on vacation, Lou. I'm going on vacation, Lou.
But both sides have a propaganda machine. Both sides. You know it as well as I do.
Did you ever read Tucker Carlson's emails? And
I understand Tucker Carlson has an agenda. There's no doubt about it. But so does
everybody on MSNBC.
So does not everybody, but
most.
But if you're a John Decker, you're a reporter, you're a journalist. It is different than someone who is giving opinion all day long. And on these cable programs, let me tell you, they pick you because you're going to give a certain opinion and a certain take, and you run with it. And you're looking for clicks. You're looking to be invited back is really what it is. So anyway, it is what it is. It's so important for the people, us, the regular human beings, to sift through it all. Don't trust any one source. See it, hear it for yourself, and then form your own conclusion. You're still talking.
Lies about the campaign. Because if we don't, we're going to lose audience, and we're going to decimate our Fox's stock share. So he's telling Hannity and Ingalls and all the rest we have to lie, and they all agreed with him.
Yeah, but Hannity's not a journalist, and so is, neither is Laura Ingraham.
And Wayne Crazy. I don't know if you read these. Everybody should read these. This is not going on in MSNBC. I'm sorry. This is not. They're not out there telling each other we have to lie about X, Y, Z. Don't tell the people the truth.
I'm not getting into that battle. I'm just telling you, watch, listen, multiple sources, and judge for yourself. That's all.
Well, don't listen to Fox News because it's just a lying machine.
All right, Lou. Please have a wonderful trip.
Same thing with the people who come on your radio show after you're gone. They're just a lying machines telling people, throwing the red meat. What do they want to hear?
Enjoy your trip, and you can listen via YouTube or the app from Florida. So feel free to do that. All right.
Too good a weather down there, Bill. I'll be outside.
All right. Well, get out and walk and put some headphones in. So, all right. You have a wonderful, safe trip. We'll hear from you when you get back.
It sounds great. And the last comment is yes, you're 100% right. Just listen to the John Deckers of the world and stay away from the con artists.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Have a wonderful trip. Thank
Lou
you.
putting the Lou in delusional. There we go. All right.
I do not want to get into any battle over right and wrong and Fox versus MSNBC. I don't want to go down that road today. It's just Davey, don't you feel like there's a vibe happening here?
Yeah,
it's a weekend vibe. It's like
start off a Good Friday into the weekend.
I know we got free breakfast.
I have no snow left in my front yard. There's nothing left to shovel. That rain overnight just melted it all away. My sump pump's working. I mean, life is good.
Yeah, but it's muddy in some parts.
Oh, don't look at it negatively. That's all I'm saying. Yes, it's muddy. It's muddy in some parts. I got a break. Why don't we do Habaika's free money question of the day? What are we looking for in terms of what's your pick today for the jackpot?
$200.
$200.
Whoa! Wait a minute. He just called. He wants me to do 100.
Too quick. You got to give him a chance to call.
Oh.
All right, so you just stand there, and I'll talk for a little bit, and then you pipe in and say, wait a minute, Joe just called, okay? All right, so we're going to do Habaika's free money caller of the day. We're going with caller number what, Davey?
9.
Caller 9. You're killing me today.
Sorry.
All right, the 9th caller through the lines, 315-736-0186. Your chance to win $200 from the Habaika Law Firm. Yeah.
Whoa, he just called. We got to do 100.
He said what?
100.
No, we're doing 200.
Oh, screw it.
I don't care what he says. We're doing $200. That went well. Ninth caller through the lines, 315-736-0186, WIBX.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations, things you'll actually use.
It's incredible. After using Babbel, I'm ready to start having real conversations in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Babbel. Évidemment.
Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. Start learning a language today at Babbel.com.
There's no better time than the new year to help protect your identity and finances. LifeLock detects potential threats to your identity that you may miss on your own. If you do become a victim, a U.S.-based LifeLock restoration specialist will work to fix it. LifeLock is the New Year's resolution that's easy to keep. Save 25% off your first year. Call 1-800-LifeLock or go to lifelock.com. Promo code CLAY to save 25%. That's lifelock.com, promo code CLAY.
Oriskany Garage, a locally owned auto repair shop, is consistently selected best auto repair shop in the Utica area year after year. Google search Oriskany Garage to see what our customers are saying. Come and see us for friendly professional service. For all of your auto repair needs, brakes, tires, funny noises, warning lights, come experience friendly professional service at Oriskany Garage down the street from Utica University or online at ogtire.com. Come on and say it with me and make the noise. ogtire.com.
We all make resolutions this time of year, and let's face it, most of them won't stick. But here's one that's not only easy to keep, but will help you feel healthier all year long. Navage. Navage provides quick, drug-free nasal relief by washing saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out of the other nostril. This time of year, when everyone is sick, Navage helps by sucking out germs, bacteria, and viruses trapped in our noses that cause us to feel miserable. And come allergy season, it does the same with dust, pollen, and other allergens. And unlike medications that can take time to help, if they're effective at all, Navage helps treat congestion symptoms in seconds flat, without drugs. This New Year's, resolve to use drug-free Navage to help you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier all year long. Ask for Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or find us online at Navage.com. Navage. Navage. Clean nose. Healthy life.
Oneida County Department of Family and Community Services has immediate openings for program nurses, starting at over $59,000. Nurses work a 35-hour work week, conducting patient screenings and home health assessments. And the civil service exam fee is waived for 2024. Apply today at OneidaCountyJobs.com.
Are you or a loved one dealing with physical issues? Are you about to have a corrective surgery? Be prepared and take the stress out of recovery. Visit Home and Hospital Medical Supply in the new Hartford Shopping Center. From mobility aids to home safety equipment, they carry it all. Whether it's a heating pad for back relief or a knee brace for that sports injury, they now even have light therapy equipment to fight seasonal depression. Home and Hospital Medical Supply. Care with convenience. Online at HNHMedicalNY.com.
On behalf of IBEW Local 43 Union Electricians and the NECA Contractor, we are pleased to partner with Syracuse University in providing our members with an opportunity to enhance their education at this great university.
Syracuse University's partnership with the IBEW will provide talented students the opportunity to advance their careers while shaping the future of the electrical trades and the industries they serve.
Central New York's future is bright, and the IBEW Local 43 and NECA will continue to help light, power, and grow Central New York.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
All right, here we go. It's time for Habaika's free money question of the day. A chance for you to win $200 from Joseph and Andrew Habaika, the Habaika Law Firm. Joseph and Andrew Habaika, 315-724-1600. And on the line, ready to take a shot, is Sherry in New York Mills. Hello, Sherry. Good morning.
Good morning.
How you doing?
Pretty good.
You
Hoping
look-
to win 200.
All right. Do I read the I've already got 7 comments in on Liberal Lou, and he was just on the radio. Can you believe this?
Yeah, no, he fires people up.
He does. Okay, let's get this over with. Let's get you some money. $200 from the Hobica Law Firm. Your chance to win right now. 7 seconds. You know the way this works?
Yep.
Here is your question. From the It Didn't Make the Oscar file, this actor with ties to Utica starred in the movie All You Can Eat. Ready, go. All You Can Eat.
I don't know. Chubby Chase.
That's a really good guess.
Because he does have ties to Utica now.
But
That was what I was going by.
you had one of 3. You had Chevy Chase,
Randy Quaid,
or
Brian Doyle Murray.
And the answer is Randy Quaid. Yeah. And I thought you'd grab it because he's all over the news. He just did his taping for this Utica movie yesterday, or the day before. This week in Vermont is where he's been filming, though. So, Randy Quaid is the answer. But I'm going to give you, Sherry, a personal 10-minute phone call with Liberal Lou. That's on the house. We're not going to charge for that. We're going to give you the Utica All-in-One Food and Fun card. It's a $25 gift card to Aquavino Babes, 72 Tavern and Grill, the new Taylor and the Cook, and concession stands at Nexus and the Adirondack Bank Center. And I'm going to give you a 4-pack of the tickets to the home show at the Nexus Center, which comes up next weekend, the 3rd and 4th of February at the Nexus Center. And Davey will work all this out with you. And Sherry, thank you. Have a wonderful weekend.
Oh, you too. Thanks a lot.
All right, thanks so much. Set her up with that call, Davey.
Give him her number. Really quickly, Easy and Ilion, there's a traffic accident. This was right before Lou called in. There's a traffic accident at the circle before Genesee Street. Both lanes of traffic are blocked. Select an alternative route coming off of 5S. Stay on Broad Street. I don't know if that's still the case, but that was a message 20 minutes ago.
You had some other comments as long as you're right there.
Well, yeah, sorry, get him off. I'm leaving for 15 minutes. Can't take him. That was also Easy and Ilion.
Boy, we do love only hearing who we agree with, right? And I love hearing other people's opinions.
Oh, it's awesome. Here's Reed from Clinton.
Because and Lou, I'm sorry to say this. I'm just saying, you're as far left as some of these others are far right.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, you're all in on Biden. You're the only person I've ever met who's all in on Biden.
Who, Lou? Yeah.
Yeah. Most people are like, I didn't vote for him. I voted against Trump or whatever. But Lou's all in.
Yep. So conservative John in Boonville, John Decker needs to lay off the gummies. Biden is completely incompetent.
Well, I can only tell you I respect John tremendously. He is someone that would not. And listen, I believe that I believe there's a far more in the middle than what the dissertation on or all these stories about Biden personally. Just because I've talked to others as well. Ryan Nobles is somebody who said the exact same thing. But I think everybody, even if you can say that, even if you say, no, Biden's, believe me, he's in control. Even if you can say that, don't you feel like somebody else should be running?
I think,
right? I mean, sides, even people,
just for the sheer,
and even on both sides, I think, although there are those who are all in on Trump running, but I think for the average American, whether you're on the left, you're on the right, you're somewhere in the middle, in between, you're like, this is what we get to pick from? You've got to be kidding me.
But for those both sides, their respective person is better than the alternative.
Right.
And so it's going to be a nose plug vote anyway.
It's going to be very interesting.
This is kind of a long one from Reed and Clinton. Objectively, Biden and Trump make significant speaking gaffes. Recently, Trump said that Biden was leading the world into World War II, that Nikki Haley failed to provide security at the Capitol on January 6th. The Speaker of the House was Nancy Pelosi, and has said that former President Obama is the one who is currently in office. The difference between the two is that Biden acknowledges his missteps, whereas Trump continues on as though they never happened. Biden tries to catch himself and find the right word, which is difficult for someone who has lived a significant portion of their life with a speech impediment. Trump just brushes his gaffes off as either intentional or much ado about nothing, which is what he most likely believes. He doesn't care that he misspoke.
Okay. I mean, everybody has their opinion. I'm looking at the Whitesboro Sequoia River camera right now through TAS Electronics in the village of Whitesboro, and that water has risen tremendously there.
Yeah,
but it is not as high as it was a couple weeks back. And now that may continue to move up and continue to rise based on the delay it takes from the water to come from elsewhere, including the hills. But I can tell you that the water levels, at the very least, are pretty darn high right now. So take you 2 seconds to check your basement before you head out the door this morning to make sure, if you have a sump pump, that it is working this morning.
And again, my mom just texting in because she's having to drive downtown here this morning for something. There is a bunch of police and ambulance present downtown, down past Rockford Auto. So do be aware if you're.
I
taking
thought your mother was texting in to say, "Get Liberal Lou off the air."
No, she's been encouraging me. Yesterday, I was on the phone with her, and she says, "You don't have to run if you don't want to. Just don't worry about it."
This is the other part of this, and we'll talk more about it next hour. You're running in a half marathon.
Yeah, 13.1.
You have not trained at all. You put on 15 pounds.
Yes.
I don't know about this.
But in my past, I've run a lot of races, including the Boilermaker several times.
Okay.
This same race last year.
How old are you now?
33.
Every year that goes by, you get to be more and more like me, whether you like it or not. Here's Joel Barkin standing by from the United Nation. Joel, good morning.
Good morning, guys.
So, big time right now for the United Nation. We're talking about all of what was discussed in terms of the advancements and the next, what is it, 25 years, 30 years, whatever it is. It's about ready to get underway now.
Well, we are going to break ground later this year on the Turning Stone Evolution, the largest expansion of the property and the campus in 2 decades. Last year, even without that evolution, our numbers we just released yesterday, our economic impact numbers were historic for the Oneida Indian Nation, both from a regional spending, vendor spending, capital investments, and payroll. We had our largest payroll ever last year, and it's a real testament to the nation's investment in its people and investment in its workforce. It's something we are super proud of. I mean, I think it's hard to put these numbers in. It's always difficult when you just start saying million, 100 million this, 100 million that, right? But last year, we increased our payroll spending by $34 million to a total of $220 million
That's
annual payroll.
Crazy. That is crazy.
And when you think about, Verona, New York, and what that means, just injecting, forgetting all the capital investments and vendor small business investments, just that number alone, the payroll number alone, and how the ripple effect that has on the economy and in people's lives and in our region, it's something we're just very proud of.
Well, we had a candidate on who was attempting to be a candidate earlier in the week and basically saying there aren't any good jobs in the area. There aren't any well-paying jobs in the area. And, boy, that just couldn't be further from the truth. And even everything that's happening at the Turning Stone. Think of that. So all of this began with a void that was created when the base closed. And then you look at that. You look at what's happened at the United Nation. And it's well beyond just tables and slot machines. You look at what has. I'm sorry to be. I should be letting you say all this, but I'm just giving my take, and I'll let you expunge on it a little bit here. And then you look at the base at Griffiths, what has happened there, and everything that's happening at Marcy, and then all of the feeder businesses that are popping up. We are positioned in the best place we have ever been in our modern history.
Absolutely, and it's been great leadership from the county level. I think Tony Pacenti has done a tremendous job aligning all of our interests, both in the region and amongst various stakeholders. So that has been a game changer for sure. And I'll just say one thing, when people say, it's not all, dealers and things like that. We love our dealers, and it is a tremendous career path for many of you. We just celebrated our 30th anniversary, as you know, and we have people who've been working on the gaming floor for 3 decades who have they carry our business. They are our face of our organization in many ways. They have had incredible careers. Their impact has been really tangible. So, while we have diversified and we have a large technology arm now to what we're doing, and we're opening lots of different verticals and businesses, we never lose sight of the people that have laid the groundwork and continue to do the hard work day in and day out to keep us as successful as we've been. So I just want to say that those are tremendous careers. They're tremendous professionals who have put in great work, and we are very, very appreciative of all their efforts.
And some of them, by the way, have been there from the beginning, at the very beginning.
From the jump. And it's not just, when you build a culture of people, especially those who were there from day one, who are so committed to the success, they feel real pride and ownership, I think, as we all do. That changes the whole culture of a business. And you don't have the kind of sustained success that we've had if you don't have people that believe in the mission, believe in the leadership and everything that the Oneida Indian Nation has proven that it is committed to doing. Without that,
Andrew.
Well, and I think too, the real exciting thing to kind of get to what we were talking about is not only the economic impact currently, but as Bill mentioned, the progress of the nation and all you have planned with the capital project and improvements and building and construction, and oh, by the way, the whole Verona Collective, which will only continue to grow, pun intended, here in the area.
Yeah, and this is going to sound like a little hyperbole, but I genuinely believe this, and I think if you're being objective, what the Oneida Indian Nation is doing right now, it's literally akin to the New Deal, right? This is the level of investment, that is going on in this region. We are about to put in an additional, $500 million of investment in the region. That does not even include what we're already doing through our daily operations, right? So when you think about that in the context of what that will mean for the region and how that's just transformational if you walk, I do it every week, we are building a new community center for the Oneida Indian Nation, a second dispensary. We have the groundwork being laid for the Turning Stone Evolution. I see construction crews all over nation lands working on different projects. It's nonstop, and that is just economic activity, jobs being created, vendors having to bring in for materials and so forth, and it's just all being injected right into the local economy, and people are feeling it in a good way.
Yeah. And if I can just give one little plug, one of my favorite places at the Oneida Nation, at the Turning Stone, is that Wildflower Restaurant. Is just so good and such a gem. And there are a handful of great restaurants in Central New York that reach that high end level for, Valentine's Day is coming up or whatever special event you have. That place is awesome, and we really love it.
It's great, and if people don't know about it, it's in the lodge. You can drive right up. They'll valet your car, and you will have a special meal that you will not forget.
Joel, as always, we appreciate it. Thank you. And
Thank you.
Enjoy the weekend.
All right, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, Joel, thanks.
Joel Barkin with the Oneida Nation, and that's a pretty cool place. In fact, you were supposed to go there with us tonight, and you decided to fly off to Florida.
Was that tonight?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. I'm sorry.
All right, listen.
We will go.
We will also be at another great place, one of my favorite places in the world, right on the water, at Gems Along the Mohawk, Waterfront Grill, in Herkimer. We'll be there 1 till 5 on Sunday for the conference championship annual tailgate party sponsored by WIBX and Keeler in the morning. And Mark Bottler, and will benefit 3 charities, the Salvation Army, the Hunger Coalition, and the Herkimer County Humane Society. Rocky and Mark Bottler put together an amazing commercial, and it promotes the event this Sunday, and here it is.
Rocky, buddy, what's wrong? You look kind of down. Oh, I always get this way when the season's over. Don't worry about it. A lot of people get depressed when the Christmas season's over. Christmas? Humbug, I say. Christmas is just a way for other people to make money. I'm talking about the end of the football season. Oh, I'm sorry, Rock. So what can we do to cheer you up? Well, a party's always nice. You know, how about during the NFL championship games on Sunday, January 28th? Hey, that's a great idea. We could do it at the Waterfront Grill in Herkimer. We can invite our friends and have sponsors, have a buffet, music, drinks, prize drawings, and we could call it a party. Now you're getting me into the spirit of the season. We could charge $25 per person and donate all our proceeds to local charities. We can put the fun back into fundraising. Feeling better, Rock? I always do when I can give money away. In fact, I'm feeling so giddy, I'm buying everyone their first drink. God bless
Tiny Tim, a.k.a. Mark Butler.
The Thespian. It's the annual tailgate party, 1 till 5, and it happens this Sunday at the Waterfront Grill in Herkimer. Come on out. It's $25 donation. It goes to charity. This Sunday, 1 till 5 at the Waterfront Grill.
At Destination Kia of Utica, get more for $24.
With a 50-inch smart TV included with every new or certified pre-owned Kia.
And no money down leases on over 250 new Kias.
Like a new 2023 Kia Forte LXS that gets 39 miles per gallon highway for only $328 a month for 36 months.
With 0 down, 0 due at inception, and sales tax included.
And that's just one example. The deal's on over 250 new Kias.
Only at the family-owned and operated Destination Kia of Utica.
Now that's kooky.
So go kooky for Kia at Destination Kia. Puppies and babies not included.
Stock number 23F0075, MSRP 21,555, 36 months, 30,000-mile lease, 20 cents per mile over, 0 due at inception, $0 security deposit, 8.75% sales tax, and $650 acquisition fee included in payment structure, $400 disposition fee, 720 plus FICO score, EPA rating, Kia, January-December 2023 sales report, TV retail value $300, prior orders excluded, offer expires 1/31/2024.
Whitesboro Central School District is looking for bus drivers to join their team. Whitesboro is a leading school system in central New York. With 7 schools, 3,100 students, and holding a 92% graduation rate, you can help drive our students' success. When you drive for Whitesboro, you get great benefits, a flexible schedule, and summers off. Perfect for retirees with extra time. Help drive our future leaders with Whitesboro Central School Transportation. Call Andy at 315-768-9740 or stop by the garage, 20 Wood Road, Whitesboro.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX 950 Utica Rome, W295DI Utica Rome, your news, talk, and sports leader, a Town Square media station.
Still trapped in Russia. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, and an American journalist accused of being a spy has to stay there even longer.
Pretrial detention's been extended for Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gershkovich through March. He's been in prison in Moscow since last March. Russian authorities accuse him of collecting information constituting a state secret about the activities of one of the enterprises in Russia's military-industrial complex. He's denied the allegations. The U.S. says he's being wrongfully detained.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. First in Alabama, Kenneth Smith was executed by nitrogen gas 14 months after a lethal injection failed when they couldn't put an IV in. Witnesses say after the mask was put on Smith's face last night, he convulsed for several minutes and gasped for air.
The state called it perhaps the most humane method of execution ever devised. They added such treatment is much better than Smith gave Elizabeth Sennett nearly 36 years ago. Smith was convicted twice for his role in the grisly murder-for-hire death of Elizabeth Sennett in 1988.
Fox's Alexandria Hoff. Texas appears unwilling to comply with a Biden administration deadline today to let U.S. border agents into an Eagle Pass Park, where the Supreme Court ruled they should be allowed to go, to cut razor wire Texas agents put up to keep migrants out.
25 Republican governors are siding with Abbott, signing a joint statement in support of Texas. South Dakota's Kristi Noem is one of them, and she is heading to the border today.
I'm willing to send National Guard down there to stand alongside.
And while Texas invokes its constitutional right to defend itself, the White House is refusing to say if Biden is considering federalizing the state's National Guard.
Fox's Brooke Singman. Former President Trump's urging Republicans in Congress to reject border policy changes that could be in a Senate compromise with Democrats unless it's a perfect deal. Now, this morning, the former president is expected to attend closing arguments at a civil defamation trial in New York the day after he testified, denying author E.G. Carroll's claims he sexually assaulted her decades ago, then defamed her, denying it. America's listening to Fox News.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The patented key ingredient is something called Testofen, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text ROCK to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text ROCK to 42424. That's ROCK to 42424.
Good morning, WIBX 950 News Time, 8:03. I'm Andrew Derminio. Right now, we're at 38 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Still some light drizzle in the area. Your full weather forecast is coming up. We have very little details right now, but there has been some police and ambulance present down on 5S, right in the area of Genesee Street and 5S in downtown Utica. So do be aware of that route. Traffic has slowed a bit as there is some sort of accident there. We will get more details as we can, but we want to let you know about that from a travel advisory standpoint. This update brought to you by the new Destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. And also by the Stanley Center of the Arts, presenting Standards and Stories with Tony Danza, April 6th, 2024 at 7:30 p.m. Tickets are on sale now through Ticketmaster. The man who allegedly shot and killed a pregnant woman in Syracuse has been ordered to undergo a mental health exam. Results of that test would be used to determine if 34-year-old David Kirby is competent to stand trial. Kirby was arraigned yesterday after being accused of opening fire towards 26-year-old Apriona Harris last month. Harris was shot in the head and died days after being wounded, but the child survived. It's believed Kirby is the baby's father, but a DNA test is needed to confirm that. A drain clog on Columbia Street in Utica caused some issues for the Wynn Hospital Thursday afternoon. Hospital officials informed the public that they were in the process of cleaning up the affected area on the first floor of the hospital. MVHS's Senior Vice President for Marketing and Strategy, Caitlin McCann, says patient care was not impacted. She did not specify how the first floor of the hospital was affected. Officials with the Mohawk Valley Water Authority say it is not a water authority issue, and the city of Utica was in the area with cameras doing what's called televising the lines in an effort to determine if this is an issue on the city's end. A Syracuse native has been picked to take part in an upcoming NASA mission. Dr. Jeanette Epps currently works as part of NASA's Crew 8 mission and will launch into space next month. Epps earned her physics degree from Le Moyne College and also received her doctorate in aerospace engineering from the University of Maryland. She will join colleagues at the International Space Station, where the group will perform research. This will be the first space flight for Epps. And a new camera has been invented that allows people to see the world through animal vision. According to a report out this week, a team of British and American scientists have come up with a camera that records video in 4 colors, including ultraviolet, which is outside the range of human perception, but can be seen by birds. The camera then turns the data into perceivable units for different animals based on what is known about the animal's photoreceptors. The researchers have also released videos on social media that demonstrate animal vision, like how a bird might see a butterfly or how a mouse might see a rainbow. WIBX 950 News Time 8:06. Your weather forecast is according to Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Craig Flint, brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville.
I'm Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Craig Flint in the WIBX Weather Center. Today, damp and mild as widespread rain tapers to scattered showers by late morning. Remaining overcast with drizzle and patchy fog, a high near 45. Tonight, overcast with drizzle, locally dense fog near 35. And tomorrow, patchy fog early, then mostly cloudy, a bit cooler, near 40. For more on your local forecast, tune to Eyewitness News at 6 on WUTR. I'm meteorologist Craig Flint on WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM.
Light precipitation, 37 degrees. It is 8:07. Sports brought to you by IBEW NECA 43 local contractors. The NFL will have its Super Bowl 58 teams locked in following Championship Sunday. The pair of pivotal matchups begin in the afternoon when the Chiefs head to Baltimore to play the top-seeded Ravens in the AFC title game. And the day wraps up in Santa Clara when the number 1-seeded 49ers battle the Lions in the NFC title game. You can see it all at the Waterfront Grill. It's tailgating time, and it's going to be Sunday from 1 to 5, raising money for MOVAC, Herkimer County Humane Society, and the Herkimer County Hunger Coalition. It's going to be a great time. Just $25, get you your first drink and a awesome spread, so do not miss that. The Atlanta Falcons have named their next head coach, and it's not Bill Belichick. ESPN reports Raheem Morris was hired Thursday. The 47-year-old previously coached Atlanta on an interim basis back in 2020 when Dan Quinn was fired midseason. He went 4-7 in 11 games and was passed over for Arthur Smith for the head coaching job in the offseason. Morris spent the last 3 seasons as the Rams defensive coordinator and helped contribute to a championship in 2021. Bill Belichick was rumored to replace. So this is an addendum to the story. They did interview Bill Belichick twice for the Atlanta Falcons job, but the 6-time Super Bowl winner is rumored to replace current Kansas City Chiefs head coach Andy Reid if he retires after the postseason. That is a little bit of a stretch and thinking a little bit too far out ahead, if you ask me. Utica University men's hockey will be at home tonight at the Adirondack Bank Center at 7 p.m. against Nazareth. Then they'll travel to Rochester to take on Nazareth tomorrow at 3 p.m. The Utica Comets are on home ice tomorrow night against the Syracuse Crunch. 7 o'clock, the puck drop at the Adirondack Bank Center. But tonight they'll be in Rochester, ironically, to take on the Americans. Syracuse basketball taking the hardwood, I should say, tomorrow night. They're hoping to get back in the win column at 13-6 right now. They'll host NC State at the JMA Wireless Dome. So that is your sports. And, Bill, I got to tell you, a lot of people dealing with pain, especially in the colder weather. It can aggravate pain, whether it be your knee, your back, your elbow, whatever you're dealing with. There is a new solution. If you've tried everything else, the pills, the injections, and maybe you want to even avoid possible surgery, Softwave Tissue Regeneration Technology is available at Revive Softwave Therapy on Genesee Street in Utica, and it could help. It's non-invasive, and it's free from those pills, injections, and downtime, which means if you get one of these treatments, you may be able to resume regular activity fairly quickly. It's so effective, it's used by NFL teams, the Cleveland Clinic, and the Mayo Clinic. It was designed and developed in Germany, and it's now in Utica. This cutting-edge technology isn't limited to common pain areas either. It addresses neuropathy, plantar fasciitis, carpal tunnel syndrome, and more. The treatment is swift and boasts an outstanding 90% success rate, and it works by high-speed sound waves stimulating blood flow and stem cells to the affected area of pain and promotes natural healing. So if you've exhausted all other options and you're in pursuit of relief, call Revive Softwave Therapy. Don't let pain dictate your life when it's a solution that's available. Reach out to Dr. Tim Del Medico at 315-725-8427, or you can see videos, testimonials, and get more information at reviveutica.com. That's reviveutica.com.
Can I talk about something that is real that we can all agree on.
Sure.
And
it's a rarity nowadays.
I'm going to beg, if there's somebody that disagrees with me on this, feel free to call us.
Okay.
315-736-0186. And it's rare to find an issue that we can all agree on.
I agree.
It is almost impossible today. But listen to this. This happens in New York. It happens everywhere, where you get some crazy state representative from one of the parties that's on the fringe of that party proposing a bill that gains traction in the media.
Mm-hmm.
We see it here in New York all the time.
Oh, yeah.
I can't think of
Gets
any
people
right
riled
now.
up.
I can't get people going nuts because it's crazy. Listen to what a California lawmaker wants done. He has introduced legislation. Senator Scott Wiener. Maybe it's Weiner. It's Wiener. Scott, let's call him Weiner.
He's a whiner.
Either way, it's applicable. Weiner. The state senator wants to make all vehicles manufactured and sold in California to be unable to go over the speed limit by 10 miles. You can only go 10 miles an hour over the speed limit. So on the surface, there might be someone out there saying, well, I got to say, I don't speed. And I'm pointing at myself as if
you don't
speed.
Yeah.
And, you shouldn't be able to go 10 miles over. Well, I can give you 3 reasons right off the top of my head right now why it would be important to. So you're so what it would do is your car would recognize the speed limit.
Yeah.
And adjust and not allow you to go anywhere. Okay? So, good example. You make a wrong turn, you're going down the wrong road, you look, oh my God, I'm going over the train tracks. And there's a train coming.
Yes.
Hit the gas. Sorry, we really can't excel that much because we can't. The speed limit here is only 15 miles an hour. So we're going to creep across. Boom. You're dead. You're dead.
It's an extreme example, but a very realistic one.
You're passing somebody. And then there's another car that's coming speeding.
Right.
That car
on a two-lane
apparently bought
road.
A bootleg vehicle where they could speed.
They were able to. Right.
Or maybe you're blind.
It's grandfathered in.
Maybe you have cataracts.
Mm-hmm.
And you didn't see. And there you are. Now you're out in the middle of the lane. There's a car coming. You hit the gas. You got to hit the gas.
Mm-hmm.
You need to be able to hit that gas and get out of there. Don't hit the brake. You're dead. That's number 2. And number 3, if there's some piece of garbage on your rear end, sure, you got to get rid of it. You got to leave that piece of garbage in the dust.
Yeah. Or if they cut you off and you want to follow them home.
That's right. And they
have the bootleg car.
They're bootleg. So there are 3 perfect examples why this guy is an idiot in California. So Davey, did you get any calls on this?
No.
I got one right now. Do you agree with me 100%? Say yes. Yeah, there you go. You heard it.
Yep. It was really quick. He was catching up to the guy.
Yeah.
Lanson Lee. Okay. Lanson Lee saying, Bill, doesn't Andrew agree with everything you say?
No.
Not always.
No, he doesn't. We were just disagreeing a few
During the
minutes
break.
ago. During the break. Yeah. I got a break. Speaking of breaking, can we break?
We can.
No, we can't.
Why not?
We're disagreeing.
I don't want you to break.
It's 8:14, and we'll come back. Take your phone calls, 315-736-0186 at WIBX.
Adirondack Home Furniture's Flex Steel Big Game Sale is going on now, but only for a limited time. Hurry in for discounts up to 15% off select sofas, recliners, occasional pieces, and leather furniture. With hundreds of designer fabrics to choose from, your new piece is guaranteed to have the look you want. Stop dreaming and start creating the home of your dreams with quality, long-lasting Flex Steel furniture from Adirondack Home Furniture. Beauty and comfort is made to last with Flex Steel's exclusive lifetime lifetime warranty Blue Steel spring seating. Stop into Adirondack Home Furniture today and save up to 15% during their big game sale. Visit their Flex Steel Gallery for the best selection of Flex Steel furniture on sale. The best value and top quality furniture for your home is at Adirondack Home Furniture. You don't want to miss out on the Flex Steel big game sale at Adirondack Home Furniture. Hurry in, sale ends soon. Located at the former Riverside Mall, Horatio Street, Utica.
I'm embarrassed to say this. I've been using deodorant on my armpits for 30 years, and anytime I noticed odor anywhere else, I thought I needed another shower, I wasn't clean, or I felt like there was something wrong with me. And then my gynecologist told me about Lumi. It's a whole body deodorant for pits, feet, and privates that controls odor anywhere and everywhere on your body. Since Lumi, I never have to worry about body odor ever again, anywhere on my body. And that reassurance is worth every penny.
There's a special offer for listeners. Use code PENNY and get an extra $5 off a Lumi starter pack that comes with a solid stick, cream tube, free product of your choice, and ships free with code PENNY. LumeDeodorant.com, code PENNY for an extra $5 off a Lumi starter pack. Love it or return it for free. That's LumeDeodorant.com, code PENNY. LumeDeodorant.com, code PENNY. That's LumeDeodorant.com, code PENNY.
She's running around. Her breath doesn't smell. Her digestive system is perfect. It has made such a huge difference.
What did this dog parent do for their dog? She switched to Nature's Blend, a premium freeze-dried raw dog food made by Dr. Marty Goldstein, a veterinarian Forbes magazine called the Miracle Worker. It's the easiest way to support your dog's easy digestion, nourished skin, playful energy, and most importantly, their healthy, full life.
I'm so confident your dog will love it. Your order is backed with a 90-day guarantee.
Save up to 54% off Nature's Blend and get a free full-sized bag of Tilly's Treasures dog treats. They're best-selling beef liver dog treats while supplies last. Go to drmartypets.com/deal or text DEAL to 511-511. Go to drmartypets.com/deal or shop in over 2,000 stores nationwide. Use the store locator to find the store closest to you. All pets are unique. Your pet's results can and will vary. Message and data rates may apply. Studies available upon request.
It seems like everywhere you look right now, someone is sick. This year, prepare your family for airborne invaders like bacteria, pollen, and yes, germs with Navage Nasal Care. Navage flushes ultra-pure, refreshing saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out of the other nostril. Navage sucks out viruses, dust, and other airborne particles, all the stuff that gets trapped in your nose making you miserable. Don't get caught empty-handed this winter. Get Navage, the drug-free solution that helps you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier. Even better, Navage is HSA, FSA eligible, so Navage is a great way to spend those funds before they expire. Don't wait a minute longer. Buy Navage today and you'll breathe easier knowing you're putting your funds to good use. Navage is available online at Navage.com or Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
Retirement Outlook.
If your retirement account is mostly stocks or bonds, listen closely. The future of your savings may be more uncertain than ever before. Hi, I'm Paul Stone, CEO of Colonial Metals. The sad truth is, our government continues to eat away at our freedoms and security. In economic times like these, run around the flagpole by lunatics in Washington, I look to the most trusted store of wealth in human history, physical gold and silver that you own. At Colonial Metals, we specialize in helping folks with IRAs and 401ks and other retirement accounts move their savings into physical gold and silver. If you'd like a free gold investment kit, give us a call today at 820-800-8000. My team is standing by ready to rush a free gold investment kit to you. You may also qualify for $7,500 in free silver and a free safe. Call 820-800-8000 now. That's 820-800-8000.
Colonial Metals is not a financial advisor. Consult with your advisor before investing.
That's 820-800-8000.
Hey, River Hills Property is the fastest growing real estate company in the area. It's all about the services provided. Number one real estate company for independent agencies. Number two, including the big chains. And it's all the extra services provided. Everything from the very beginning, the day you decide to sell your home, till it closes and it's all said and done. They put together the book, which really becomes the manual for the home, perfect for the prospective buyer. perfect if you buy the home. It does become the manual for that house. And your listing agent is there every single time the house is shown to make sure the house is tidied and ready to be shown, make sure the lights are on, make sure if somebody has a question, you're there to answer that question. Can you think of any other positives?
I mean, there's so many, but it's a perfect example was last night. I had a showing. It was raining. The people were running a little bit behind because of the Route 49 thing. So I was there well in advance. Popped the heat up a little bit.
Route 49 accident.
Yes.
Yeah.
Popped the heat up a little bit. Turned all the lights on. Turned the outside lights on. So when they walked up to the house, there wasn't that cold.
Looks warm. It looks inviting.
Exactly.
It looks like something you want to spend your money on.
Bingo.
That's the River Hills philosophy. Nobody else does it. In Barneville, Little Falls, and Utica, their offices. Online, 24/7, riverhillspropertiesllc.com, a great website. 315-896-1009. Nobody sells homes like River Hills Properties.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
Oh, my God, I can't stand being right, but sometimes it's just, you walk right into it, right? You cannot help yourself.
The cross you bear, Bill.
On the speed limit in California, they want to make cars so they can only go 10 miles an hour over the speed limit. Period. Got to be kidding me. Here's Dave to agree with me. Hi, Dave. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Hello, Dave. Good morning.
Why wouldn't he?
Good morning.
What do you think, Dave?
Well, this has been the trucking industry's nightmare for probably 30 years now.
Oh,
How many times have you gone up the thruway and got behind two trucks side by side?
Yep. Oh, yeah.
And you stay there for mile after mile after mile.
You're right. Are they do they have a governor? They can't go any faster?
No, it's all computerized. It's called a speed limiter. And the companies can set these speeds on these trucks at any place they want. 67, 65, 62.
Oh, I never knew that.
So there you are trying to get by, and you're stuck. You're stuck there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I've been driving for 50 years, and this started, I'm going to say about 1992, 93, someplace in there.
Yeah.
And for the first few years, there weren't that many trucks that had computers on them yet. But now it's probably since the year 2000. Now it's mandatory.
And I'll bet they save on I'll bet they save on insurance, all sorts of different things by putting something like this.
That's all part of it right there. The insurance companies tell these companies, you set them here or we're not going to insure you.
Wow.
And it's not so much the small carriers, but the big carriers, Swift, Outfit Schneider, outfits like that.
You're right. You go for miles. And, I'm a believer, and you tell me, Dave, you live on the road, so you know. But I'm a believer that when you do this, humans are humans. We are who we are.
Yeah.
And when you create these situations where you can't get by somebody, there's gonna be some idiot that can't stand it anymore is going to try to pass on the shoulder of the road, or it actually creates the potential for danger.
Oh, I've witnessed that 100 times.
Yeah.
Hundreds of times. It just raises the stress level right up 300%.
It does.
Now, Dave,
everybody.
It's just two guys out there trying to make a living, got to get to their destination.
Yeah.
They got the ELD clock ticking away inside their cab, and at the end of 11 hours, they got to shut down. Well, I got to be here before that 11 hours up, so they're going to fight to get around one another.
Right.
And it's just a constant battle day after day.
Wow.
Now, Dave, I want to do a PSA for you and all truck drivers. This is something another person that I know told me who drives truck. If you're going to pass a tractor trailer, put your signal on to let them know you're going to, and a lot of the time they'll flash their high beams to let you know that you can go. And where this law would be a problem is
if you're passing them,
if you want to pass them. So if you're going in the left lane, because what'll happen is people will kind of cut off a truck, and their brakes aren't like a normal car's brakes. Right, and sometimes you can blow out a whole truck
after
system.
You go by them before you go back into the other lane.
Correct.
Oh yeah.
If you go too quick, if you cut over too quickly, it can really negatively impact their brakes. Dave, correct me if I'm wrong.
Explain that, Dave. I think sometimes when you're done flashing and I go in, I usually turn on my hazards a couple times to be like right back at you.
Yeah, but that's not why. They're like giving you the go ahead to pass.
It's not a law. It's common courtesy.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Fellow truck driver, and that's a thing of the past. Today's
courtesy.
Truck drivers, they aren't truck drivers; they're steering wheel holders,
Mm-hmm.
and they're out there just for the dollar, and they don't care about anybody else but themselves.
Yep.
And as a result, they're not going to take their foot off the throttle as a courtesy to let you get back in.
And that really reflects.
Dave, I'm trying to do you a favor here, buddy.
Well, that reflects on everybody, Dave. Right? Every truck driver. That's the problem.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you're right. The courtesy is to give a signal saying thank you for letting me back in.
Yeah.
But here's another part of that story. All these trucks today have brake assist warnings on the front of their trucks.
Yep.
And if they get too close to tailgating, it shuts that truck down.
Wow.
Now their brakes automatically come on.
Wow.
And now what happens to the guy behind him that's waiting for everybody to get by?
Yep.
Now here's where your rear-end collisions come into play.
Yeah, well, with that new law, it would be hard for a car to speed up
around.
to get away from a truck.
It is. All right, good stuff. You're right. It's hard, and this is why this 10-mile-an-hour thing is moronic.
Dumb.
All right, Dave.
Sure.
Dave, I appreciate
Dave, thanks.
it. We've learned a lot from you today. Thank you.
Stay safe out there.
Thank you.
All right. Have a great day and safe travels. Let me go to Kathy in Rome. Hi, Kathy.
Good morning. I have to say, everybody would be late for work, right?
Right.
Especially, I a couple of times had a couple of close calls where I had to be rushed to the hospital.
Right. How are you going to? Right.
So,
you got to get there. You got to speed. You got to get there.
That's a good point.
This guy must be related to the ones in Ohio that want to pay the kids to go to school.
Yeah, that's the dumbest thing I've heard, too. So
You're right. In a sense, there's a lot of people, a lot of lawmakers come up. I have a quick question for you, Bill.
All right.
Since your wife's a teacher, you can ask her later her opinion. There's a great big school district in Boston. There's 1,700 teachers, 1,200 students. They've been out. The teachers have been on strike. The kids have been out of school for the last 6 days. Now, some people have called her and saying that they shouldn't be allowed to strike like firemen and policemen. So what is your opinion on that?
Well, I don't know what goes on in Massachusetts, but in New York, they are not allowed to strike. There's a collective bargaining process, and New York teachers cannot strike. So,
very good.
Yep.
All right.
You don't even have to worry about it. All right, Kathy,
Bye-bye.
thank you. Thank you. Scott, stay with me. I'm getting with you next. It's Mark Boutler? Oh, it's Mark
Boulier is the
Boulier.
It was the wine stewards to the French kings. It was a very important job.
And you have held up well over the years.
A rare vintage.
Good morning. Good morning.
It's in the blood.
All right, I wanted you to...
I was wait. I was listening to your 10-mile-an-hour thing, and after driving around the streets of Utica, I have a suggestion. Why don't they put a device in stoplights so that they turn red? It'll make your car automatically stop, so you can't go through a red light.
That's interesting.
Yeah, how about all the T-bone accidents there'd be then?
Well, you know what I'd like to see is we time these stoplights on Genesee Street.
Yeah,
That
I'd
would
like
be
to see
helpful.
the potholes filled on Broad Street.
That would be helpful,
While
too.
we're throwing stuff out there.
Okay, Mark, I just wanted to give a little plug for WIBX and Keeler in the Morning present the big tailgate party this Sunday from 1 until 5.
Yes, absolutely. Everything's locking into place. The local community has supported us. We have a large number of sponsors and some great prizes to raffle. I think it's going to be a wild one, Bill. And we've added a new thing to it this year in the parking lot. We're going to start a tradition of the annual Bill's memorabilia burning ceremony.
Oh my God Almighty! God, it's just terrible. And by the way, you get your first drink free. Unfortunately, the pourer will be wide left. Your drink's going right down the drain. Wide right.
There'll be the Tyler Bass torch and pitchfork Riley too. Yeah.
Come on, don't blame it all on him.
I don't.
Mistakes all around.
I don't. All right. So come on out. And of course, you've selected 3 very important charities: the MOVAC Hunger Coalition and the Herkimer County Humane Society.
Humane Society, yes.
And very important.
And again, I think it's worth emphasizing that, Rack and I, mostly Rack, have underwritten the cost of everything. Every penny we raise will go to those charities. Now,
Nice.
we'll collect the nickels, dimes, and quarters, but the pennies will go there. I'm kidding.
All right. Well, listen, we look forward to it. We will see you on Sunday, and it's going to be a great event. And once again,
You're going to be there.
I will be there.
You're going to be there.
I will.
Oh, okay.
And once again, we will be enjoying the party without worrying about having to get home and watch the Bills. One quickie here. There's a guy named Brian who is a veteran, loves to volunteer his time to take pictures at great events, would like to offer his services for Sunday, and would like to take photos, and they'll deliver them to us, and you'd have pictures of the whole thing.
That would be wonderful. And plus, he might have some bribery material there as well. So.
Oh, yeah, he might catch some black point. He may
All
be
right.
able to make some money off it.
I will have him look for you on Sunday.
That would be great.
All right.
We'd appreciate that.
Okay.
All right.
Good deal. Thanks, Mark.
All right. Good talking to you. Always a pleasure, Bill.
Okay. Good
All
luck
right,
this weekend.
Mr. Bouillet.
So, Bouillet.
Bouillet. All right. Goodbye. Scott in Kirkville. Good morning, Scott. Good morning. Is he there? Davey, I think he might have fallen asleep. Could I be wrong?
He's supposed to be there.
I think he might have fallen asleep.
Scott? Lost him.
Okay. Let me go to this right now. Utica Royalties. Who's on the line for Utica Royalties?
This is Hawa Peters, and please correct me if I'm mispronouncing that. But Utica Royalties is a division of the Utica Center for Development, formerly known as the Veterans Outreach Center.
Who's on the line, Davey? Who's the person's name?
Hannah.
Hannah. Well, you would normally put Hannah down. You put Utica Royalties. What am I supposed to call him? Sorry. Hello, Ms. Royalty. Good morning. So it's Hannah.
Hawa.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It's Hawa.
Hawa. Yeah, that's
Hawa.
Hawa.
I'm sorry.
Davey, Hawa.
I'm sorry.
That's why you did it, because you didn't know how to.
Right.
I knew what you were doing. Okay. Good morning, Hawa. That's a very unique name. Give me the history of your name, would you? Is there something that you can tell us?
Well, I wasn't born here. I was born in Sierra Leone, West Africa.
Okay.
Yeah, and I came here at the age of 11 as an immigrant. So that's where my name is originally from.
And is that a common name in Africa?
It's very common, especially West Africa. Very common name.
Especially in West Africa. All right. Well, that's. I like to think. I try every day to walk away learning one thing. Now, sometimes I learn people are just idiots, but most days I learn something really cool like this, like a brand new name for me, Hawa. So, good morning. So, tell us about Utica Royalties.
Well, Utica Royalty is a nonprofit organization here in Utica for the youth. The organization started back in 2021. During COVID, there was really nothing much to do with the kids, and it just started like a get-together after school, and then it turned into a whole organization that offered various programs. We started with dance at home in my backyard, and then from dance, we added more classes. Then we have computer, then we have art, drumming, creative writing. I mean, we just started expanding more and more and more, and now we actually have health and wellness, which that class we partner up with NVHS nurses that comes in and teach the kids about health and wellness.
That's it sounds like what you're accomplishing is really helping people who will ultimately at some point become productive members of society.
That's the whole key, that's the whole key. Some of our goals is to, Utica is crazy. I mean, we hear all the, all the bad stuff that's happening, shooting, kids getting in trouble. So the whole thing really is our goals when we set this organization was to get those kids off of the street and engage them into something positive and productive, because the kids are going to be our future, and we're worried as parents. We have 4 kids. My husband and I have 4 kids. So we're always worrying, like, oh, my God, what is there to do for the kids? We have to really do something for the kids.
Yeah.
So Utica Royalty has provided a safe place for youth to come in to express and explore their talent.
Can you tell me what I'm assuming there's a very big story into what brought you from West Africa to the United States and ultimately to Utica. What is that story?
Yeah. Well, my country, we had war in Sierra Leone, a 10-year civil war, which was very devastating.
Yeah.
So we had to leave Sierra Leone. 1999, went to the Gambia, which is another West African country.
Mm-hmm.
We were there at the refugee camp for 2 years before we could come to the United States. And during those 2 years, things were not as easy as they were. There were times when there was no food, because we were being taken care of by the United Nations, the UN, but sometimes there were no supplies. It would be months. There were no supplies in the camp.
Wow.
So my mom, what she did, she used to make cakes, like donut cakes and banana cakes, and then she would let us go out and sell them in neighborhood villages. So at a very young age, my mother taught me that you have to fetch for yourself.
Yeah,
You have to go out and fetch for yourself. She explained to us that we should never feel entitled at any point in life, and we should always work for what we want. So it really humbled, even though I was very young at the time. I think I was 9.
Wow.
And I still used to go to the neighborhood villages, barely understand their language, but I know how to see money in their language.
Yeah.
So,
Wow. Well,
you had to count the money. So,
So it seems like really that what you're doing here with Utica Royalty or Royalties is really inspired by your mom.
Yes, my mom is a great woman. Yeah, she and even now to this day, she's always praying about this program. She's like, this is good. This is you doing something for the kids. I mean, during the war, I saw pretty devastating things,
I can only imagine.
Being killed, shot. I mean, you seen dead bodies. I mean, you're hiding for days, You're afraid for your life. You lost loved ones. You've seen your loved ones get killed in front of you. So it's just, I see a lot of kids. I was young then. I had no power. I had nothing to do. But right now, I'm a mother. If I can help 1, 2, 3, or 4 kids, that would be great, because now I feel like I could do something. I could do something with the kids.
Boy, I love your story and what you're doing with your life. I do have one question, and then Andrew has one. How do you, as you see the news, I'm sure you watch the news, and we're seeing what's happening at the southern border, and you're seeing people come over, and they're just crowding the border. They're being told that they can't come in, but they're saying, yes, we're looking for, we are refugees. We're fleeing a war-torn country. But we're saying they're not coming in the proper way. You certainly did come in the proper way. Do you see what's happening at the southern border different from what you went through, and how do you what's your take on the southern border, I guess?
Well, yeah, we did came in the right, because we wait. It was a process.
It was a process, yeah.
Years. Yeah, it was a process. We waited, and everything was legal. There was nothing illegal. So for every situation is different. I know people are always looking for freedom and liberty. Every situation is different. It's just that the way we came was process. It
correct.
Took time.
Right.
Everything takes time. So I just guess patience is the best here.
So the reality for you, your belief is that every situation is different, and you don't know necessarily what their situation is, so you're not judging that.
I've been the girl that stayed with no food or water for days, so I can't.
Yeah.
Judging is not in my character.
I understand. And that's really now my last question. And then Andrew. Sorry, I have many questions, Andrew.
Go ahead.
The program is called Utica Royalties. They work with children who are in need, guiding them with programs, also everything from A to Z. First name again, Andrew, is
Hawa.
Hawa. So Hawa, if you could. Tell us, you probably weren't put into the to the easiest conditions, even once you reached Utica. But what do you think of Utica? What do you think of America now that you've been here and you've established your own adult life?
Utica, people don't see that, but Utica is actually a great place. Regardless of all the craziness that's happening and everything that you see on the news, I do believe that Utica has a very special. There's something about it. It's just so special, and you can make it. People are trying to make it in New York City, in California, and that Utica is a place you can make it. You can make a lot of difference here. It's small, but you can have a big impact in the city. As an adult, I realized that. And when I was naming this, it started as a group, now it's an organization, nonprofit. I named it Utica Royalties because it's a city I love. It's Utica, and royalties are the kids. So it's basically saying Utica kids,
Love it.
I love that.
That's what the royalties stands for. It stands for the youth,
That's
because
awesome.
they are our future,
And I love your answer. And Andrew.
Hawa, I just have a question about your home country of Sierra Leone. I'm looking at it on a map, and geographically, it looks like it's a beautiful country. I'm seeing that it's known for its white sand beaches. Do you miss your home country? Have you been back to visit? What are the current conditions there like, and do you still have family there?
I still have cousins and uncles and aunts. I haven't been back since I left in 99. 99, that's a long time ago.
Yeah,
and
it is.
I haven't been back. I felt like I'm going to be so lost. It's been over 23, 24 years, I think.
Yeah.
Yes, I do one day want to go back and visit family and experience all those beaches that they were talking about because I was younger when I left. It is a nice place. However, the corruption and sometimes just the way people do things, it's not right. So the country is always under some type of influence of oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, and people are always fearing for their lives.
Yeah.
So it's still not 100% steady yet.
Yeah.
But yes, I do want to go back. I do want to go visit at some point.
Well, listen, we appreciate your time here. How can people learn about Utica Royalties, and how can they maybe get online and get some information?
Yes, they can go online on our website, uticaroyalties.org. And also, if they go to the Utica Center for Development and go on their website, they could also learn a little bit about Utica Royalties as well. We have a Facebook page, Utica Royalties. We have a like page, Utica Royalties. We also have an Instagram, Utica Royalties. So there's a lot of information out there about this program. I mean, anyone could get involved. We're always looking for volunteers to come and help in the programs. And we're actually having a fundraiser coming up in March 9th for the youth because we need more funding to continue our programs for the summer. We're all set for the winter, but we're looking for funding for the summer.
Well, we'll revisit this again as we get closer to that.
Yeah, Hawa, you have my number now, so reach out to me anytime.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Hawa. Great hearing your story. We appreciate it.
Well, thank you.
Have a great day. We take so much for granted, right? And
100%.
But it's very interesting to see how the process was followed then, yet still she looks at what's happening on the southern border and is unwilling to pass any judgment because she doesn't understand what's going on there. I'm not sure the rest of us really understand, except there's a right way and a wrong way of entering the nation. Right now, save on. Are we done with that? And then we're going to wrap it up coming up in a second. Right now, save on Mazda's certified pre-owned vehicle. A brand new vehicle, you could, or a pre-owned vehicle at Steep Pawnee Mazda. Commercial Drive in Yorkville. Ricky Z says they only select the best of the best late model Mazda vehicles for you to choose from. They offer award-winning Mazda certified pre-owned vehicles with a 160-point inspection and the 7-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. And if you need a lower payment, a lower price, they have you covered. Rick says, let's make your deal on a Mazda certified pre-owned vehicle. And see why their customers always say it's always easy to do business at Steep Pawnee Mazda Commercial Drive in Yorkville.
Adirondack Home Furniture's Flex Steel Big Game Sale is going on now, but only for a limited time. Hurry in for discounts up to 15% off select sofas, recliners, occasional pieces, and leather furniture. With hundreds of designer fabrics to choose from, your new piece is guaranteed to have the look you want. Stop dreaming and start creating the home of your dreams with quality, long-lasting Flex Steel furniture from Adirondack Home Furniture. Beauty and comfort is made to last with Flex Steel's exclusive lifetime warranty blue steel spring seating. Stop into Adirondack Home Furniture today and save up to 15% during their big game sale. Visit their Flex Steel gallery for the best selection of Flex Steel furniture on sale. The best value and top quality furniture for your home is at Adirondack Home Furniture. You don't want to miss out on the Flex Steel big game sale at Adirondack Home Furniture. Hurry in, sale ends soon. Located at the former Riverside Mall, Horatio Street, Utica.
Whitesboro Central School District is looking for bus drivers to join their team. Whitesboro is a leading school system in central New York. With 7 schools, 3,100 students, and holding a 92% graduation rate, you can help drive our students' success. When you drive for Whitesboro, you get great benefits, a flexible schedule, and summers off. Perfect for retirees with extra time. Help drive our future leaders with Whitesboro Central School Transportation. Call Andy at 315-768-9740 or stop by the garage, 20 Wood Road, Whitesboro.
At Consumer Cellular, you get the same exact coverage as the largest carriers, but for up to half the cost. Same thing, up to half the cost. Up to half the cost for the same thing. 50% the money for 100% the same thing. I hope I'm making myself clear. Consumer Cellular. When freedom calls, we're here to answer. Call us at 1-888-FREEDOM.
Half the cost savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single-line 5GB data plan with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single-line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plan offered by T-Mobile and Verizon May 2023.
Hi, I'm Martha Stewart. Every year, more than 4 million pets enter shelters here in the United States. My friends at American Humane have been helping animals since 1877. The goal is to ensure that pets have a safe shelter, especially during natural disasters. Adopting a shelter pet allows shelters to help more animals awaiting care. Please consider adopting today and take some time to learn more about American Humane's other work at americanhumane.org.
At Mattress Express, get a queen flex head bed with adjustable base and a set of sheets for $14.99. Qualified buyers get no money down and up to 60 months to pay. A flex head bed is where each head goes up and down independently, but it's still one solid mattress. See store for details.
Hey, the Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills is accepting new patients. And yesterday we talked with Dr. Shemileski and Dr. Zielinski about your annual physical and how important that is to really discuss how things have been and how you want to proceed and how you're able to accomplish all of your goals physically. That's really what your annual physical is all about. The Falcon Clinic is accepting new patients, and they're the area's premier osteopathic medical clinic. Call today, 315-507-4751. Several physicians, counselors, even acupuncture, all under one roof. The Falcon Clinic, 315-507-4751.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
And if you're on your way today and you have that moment where, wow, I just need a pick-me-up, it's Daylight Donuts in New Hartford, the best coffee, Seattle's best. Coffee, espresso, lattes, iced coffee, and, of course, their donuts are made fresh every single day, that drive-through. You're in, you're out, you're on your way. No long line waiting. They put people through there very quickly.
It's good coffee.
Let me throw a couple of comments here, and then we're going to go to Scott in Kirkville. for the weekend. If you're looking for anything, some opportunities this weekend, betting-wise. In regards to the 10-mile, this is Eastern Equipment. In regards to the 10-mile over speed limit, another Democratic state with ridiculous regulations like New York. Yeah, that's not a regulation yet. It's a
proposed law.
It's one clearly nut job that is proposing. He's out there, he's driving, and he's like, I'm doing 55. And then, somebody whizzes by him, and he's like, I can't believe, I am so unhappy with my life, I must stick my nose into everybody else's. That's what we're talking about.
Well, Steve Houck, he had a pretty good comment this morning saying if that law goes into effect, Sammy Hagar will have to re-record his song to I Can Only Drive 55.
That's very good. That's a good one. That's a good one, Steve. And Kevin says, get yourself a shirt that says, this is for you while running the half marathon, you moron. Get your, I don't know what you're thinking. Get yourself a shirt that says, doing it for little Timmy. No one will know that you didn't train. Everyone will cheer you on. And when you fall, they will pick you up.
And carry me across the finish line.
That's right.
Well, at some point, because the ship leaves the port the same day as the race. So at some point, if I'm too behind, I'm just going to call myself an Uber, get me to the port.
Well, when you said, it's so funny because I was going to, that might be the easiest.
Right.
When does it leave?
I think like 1 o'clock.
Sunday at 1. Well, I was kind of thinking
that's when we have to be on the ship.
Kind of thinking the same thing when you said you were going to run a half marathon. I'm like, Andrew, you're 33, and that ship's already left the port. It's time for you to think about something else.
I know, it's supposed to be relaxing on this trip. I don't know.
I don't know what you're thinking. Here's Scott in Kirkville.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Scott. How are you? Good morning.
Hey, first of all, producer Dave, when you see Donnie or talk to Donnie Laible, tell him I saw the pictures of him with the pro wrestlers. That was pretty cool. So I didn't realize he was doing the pro wrestling thing. We're both up to Herkimer County at the same time. Both were classmates.
Yeah,
both joined a Greek. We both joined a Greek fraternity called Itapakag. So
okay. Did you? That
was actually pretty good.
What year? What
Did
year?
You like that one? Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Andrew.
Were you like 79, 80, 81, or where? Somewhere
yeah,
there?
Went there in 77, graduated in 79, and then went on to Oswego State for my 4-year degree, went and graduated in 81.
Do you know that I am a 1992 graduate of Herkimer?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you're on the hill with a higher education like us, right?
I was there, and I took radio TV once. And then I lacked one
Dr.
course.
Tempo
I
still
left.
there at the time?
He was. I left. I had one course remaining, and decided, all right, I'll go back. So I was already working in radio when I was there early on. So I didn't feel that staying there was the. And then I tried it again in the mid '80s and just never finished that one electronics course that I hated so much. And I know if you took RTV, you know what I'm talking about. And then finally in 92, I'm like, I must finish this. So while doing mornings, I was doing mornings on Rock 107 at that time. I completed everything and finally graduated. So I like to say I
school of Rodney Dangerfield. Then
I spent 10 years in college, and here I am today. I'm the result of it.
Learning every day.
All right, so
well,
opportunities this weekend. What are you thinking?
We're gonna, we call it pizza money to have fun with these bands. We can even call it the Scooter Burger down at the Waterfront Grill. But there's a lot of props you can have fun with. One prop, and it's based on if you bet 100, but you don't have to bet 100, but it's plus 500. There's a prop out there that with every team score a running touchdown, which I think there's a good shot they will, because you got 3 teams that run the ball. Kansas City will be the tough one. So, for $10 you can pick up 50. So that's not too bad. Just to have some fun with that one. Beckham for Baltimore, guys. He's brought in for this. It's go time. He's got 35 receptions. Each one cost $428,000. His total is only 1.5 receptions and under receiving yards 20. So I would take both of those. This is what they brought him in for. So this kind of reminds me when he was with the Rams. So those 2 prop bets right there, plus the other one. Kansas City side, Mahomes has got to do something. his yardage is only 243. If they're going to win this game, he's going over to 243. So if you're a Kansas City fan, I would bet Mahomes. I'll bet his rushing's only 26. He's going to take off. 20 and a half is their team total. I'd bet the over on that because if they're going to win the game, they're going over 20 and a half. The other game is interesting because golf is not a great outdoor guy, but Purdy struggled. I don't know if that was just a bad – he couldn't grip the ball or, man, he just didn't do nothing.
That was,
I mean, scares the heck out of me. But the thing I was surprised at, because Detroit likes to run the ball, and we know that they love running the ball, especially in 4-down territory. Both the running backs, Montgomery and Gibbs, are below 50 yards for the total. Well, if they're going to win this game, one's going to have to go over 50. I would bet both of those. And on the Kansas and the San Francisco side, if Samuels doesn't play, McCaffrey's going to have a big game.
Okay.
So I would go over 3.5 receptions with McCaffrey over 40 yards receiving.
All right, and quickly, I've got to be 30 seconds out.
Yeah.
Syracuse tomorrow night.
Got to win. They got a break last night. Oregon beat Oregon State, so this will be a top 50. There's a quad one. Shocked NC State is in the 70s. So they have. These are the ones that you've got to win.
You got to win. Yeah.
Won't get you the tournament. Biggest thing I'm disappointed when they don't score. They seem frustrated on defense. And that's what happened against Florida State. And hopefully that doesn't happen.
Well, they were with it all the way right up until the end and then blew it. So, all right, Scott, have a great weekend. Win all the money and be happy and all that stuff.
That's right.
Your time is up. Thank you. All right. There you go. This weekend will be on Sunday, 1 till 5, Davey, at the Waterfront Grill.
Right. Even I will be down there.
Even Davey will be there. And come on out and check it out. It's a great cause, great time, and all of that. You'll love the Waterfront if you've never been there. But check it out. 1 till 5 on Sunday, sponsored by WIBX 950 and Keeler in the morning. Andrew, safe travels.
Thank you.
Safe running.
Say your prayers, everybody.
We will see you when you get back.
Is your bank account tapped out after the holidays?
But you need a brand new all-wheel drive SUV to power through the snow.
Then get more for $24 at Destination Kia of Utica with no money down leases on all-wheel drive SUVs.
Like a brand new 2024 Kia Sportage LX all-wheel drive SUV for just $448 per month for 36 months.
And that's with zero down, zero due at inception, even sales tax included.
Get a no money down lease and keep your tax refund.
Plus, get a 50-inch smart TV included with every new or certified pre-owned Kia.
Now that's kooky!
So go kooky for Kia at Destination Kia of Utica. Puppies and babies not included.
2024 Kia Sportage LX all-wheel drive stock number 24T0197. MSRP $30,750, 36 months, 30,000 mile lease, 20 cents per mile over, zero due in inception, $0 security deposit, 8.75% sales tax, and $650 acquisition fee included in payment structure, $400 disposition fee, 720 plus FICO score, TV retail value $300. Prior orders excluded. Offer expires 1/31/2024.
You work hard for a living here in the Mohawk Valley. You make a difference. You leave your mark. You deserve a financial advisor who works hard for you.
Local, prudent, and trustworthy. Van Meter & Van Meter are your full-service financial professionals. I'm Chris Van Meter, and I've spent my life helping people with financial planning, investing for the future, managing their wealth, planning their taxes, thinking about their legacy.
And I'm Dave Van Meter. Our team offers you the deep bench of financial professionals you deserve. We have the education, the experience, and the tools to make a difference for your future. Visit us at VanMeterLLC.com.
We're Van Meter & Van Meter. Call us at 315-823-9200 or visit us in Little Falls, Schuyler, or Palatine Bridge.
Securities and advisory services offered through Cattery Grant & Company Incorporated, a registered investment advisor and member FINRA SIPC. Van Meter & Van Meter LLC and Cattery Grant & Company Incorporated are separate entities.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX 950 Utica Rome, W295DI Utica Rome, your news, talk, and sports leader, a Town Square media station.
Texas has no plans to comply. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. With a Biden administration deadline today to allow U.S. border agents access to a park in Eagle Pass to cut razor wire the state put up to block migrants.
We have the right to defend our country against invasion, and
What else would you call it if you've got 6 million people coming through illegally?
Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt and 24 other Republican governors support Texas, and he just told Fox he might send his National Guard to help the state. But Fox's Jackie Heinrich reports from the White House some Democrats want President Biden to federalize National Guard troops in Texas.
As they also pressed congressional Republicans to take up this border bill that was being negotiated in the Senate and looked pretty likely to pass until Senate GOP leadership acknowledged that former President Trump will likely be the Republican nominee, and he does not want this bill.
Now, this hour, the former president is expected to attend closing arguments at a civil defamation trial in New York. The UN's High Court is urging Israel to do more to limit Palestinian deaths and damage in its war against Hamas, stopping short of what South Africa wanted, in order for Israel to stop the war in Gaza.
In the court's view, at least some of the acts and omissions alleged by South Africa to have been committed by Israel in Gaza appear to be capable of falling within the provisions of the convention.
Joan Donahue is the president of the Court of International Justice. Israel's prime minister is calling the genocide allegations outrageous. An American journalist jailed in Russia has been ordered to stay behind bars through at least March. It was March of last year when Evan Gershkovich was arrested, accused of being a spy. He denies that. The U.S. calls Gershkovich wrongfully detained. A convicted murderer died in a new way last night. Kenneth Smith suffocated by nitrogen gas, a first-of-its-kind execution.
He struggled against his restraints a little bit, but there's some involuntary movement and some agonal breathing, so that was all expected.
Alabama Corrections Commissioner John Hamm. Witnesses say Smith convulsed for several minutes, appearing to gasp for air. America's listening to Fox News.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The patented key ingredient is something called Testofen, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text ROCK to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text ROCK to 42424. That's ROCK to 42424.
Good morning, WIBX 950 News Time at 9:03. I'm Andrew Dominio. 38 degrees. The precipitation still a pattern on your windshield. Do be slow on your way into work or wherever you're going. Full forecast coming up in minutes. This update brought to you by the new Destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. The man who allegedly shot and killed a pregnant woman in Syracuse has been ordered to undergo a mental health exam. Results of the test would be used to determine if 34-year-old David Kirby is competent to stand trial. Kirby was arraigned yesterday after being accused of opening fire towards 26-year-old Apriona Harris last month. Harris was shot in the head and died days after being wounded, but the child survived. It's believed Kirby is the baby's father, but a DNA test is needed to confirm that. Mohawk Valley Health System was dealing with a bit of a water situation as a drain clog on Columbia Street caused some issues for the Wynn Hospital Thursday afternoon. Officials say they were in the process of cleaning up the affected areas on the first floor of the hospital yesterday. MVHS's Senior Vice President for Marketing and Strategy, Caitlin McCann, says patient care was not affected. She did not specify how the first floor of the hospital was impacted. Officials with the Mohawk Valley Water Authority say it is not a water authority issue, and the city of Utica was in the area with cameras doing what's called televising the lines in an effort to determine if it was on the city's end. A pop and R&B group that topped the charts back in the 90s is going to be performing at the New York State Fair this year. TLC is scheduled to be on the Suburban Park stage on Friday, August 23rd at 8 p.m. The group has sold more than 85 million records and is best known for hits like Creep and Waterfalls. This year's fair starts August 21st and runs through September 2nd, but let's not rush it. And Lotto players will be lining up over the next couple days to take their shot at winning a combined $449 million in cash. The top prize for Mega Millions tonight is $285 million, while tomorrow's Powerball jackpot is $164 million. The games are $2 apiece, and both drawings will be streamed online. It is 9:05. Your weather forecast calling for rain today. Will highs in the low 40s, cloudy overnight, lows in the mid-30s. Tomorrow, cloudy with a high near 40. Right now, 38 degrees with light rain showers. Brian Kilmeade's next on your News Talk and Sports Leader, WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM.
For a limited time at Mattress Express, qualified buyers will get 60 months to pay on any purchase $1,500 or higher with no money down. That includes all brands of mattresses in the store and massage chairs. See store for details.